Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with James Farley,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
Hello there.
and Sean Bell.
Yo.
This week we're going to be talking about computer games
Why?
Yes.
because that's what the people want.
Is,
All
you know
right,
what,
Sean?
Matt?
is it really?
Do-
I'm not
have
sure
we done a
about that
survey?
anymore. Yeah.
Let's survey them.
We should ask.
No, because what I say actually.
What, should we
Yeah.
keep going? Is that what you want me to
Is there
ask?
anything else you'd rather we talked about?
What if I say, don't talk about games anymore? We are done with that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Then it'll be
God.
like, oh yeah, so they did sort of 450 odd podcasts. So they talked about I don't know, computer games or something, and then they
Then we went to
moved on
politics.
yeah, politics.
No. You have,
gardening
to,
and-
you have to do all the websites. So it's like it's all got pop culture. Let's just do pop culture.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
pop
culture. Yeah.
We'd like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas S, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Carwanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, Mock Turtle Soup, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve the Nuke Littler. We'd like to thank each and every one of those for going full Nels. You can go full Nels by going to patreon.com/TCGS. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're not signed up to our Patreon, firstly, sign up. Secondly, thank everyone that's been signed up for ages, especially our Full Nels crew. You owe them everything. We entertain you and they pay for it. Are you comfortable taking a freebie? You shouldn't be. Patreon.com/TCGS. You're one of those people, aren't you, that watch a street performance and then go, looks like he's wrapping up, let's walk away before having the awkward moment where we've been entertained but we don't want to put a pound in the fucking hat. If you're one of those people, stop listening, all right? You stop now. Stop it.
Some people just
Patreon.com
don't want to give back to
/
society, do they? That's the problem.
No, they don't. It's all
No.
take, fucking
Yeah.
take. James, your t-shirt is now up on tcgs.co/store. I'm waiting for mine. I've ordered mine. It's one of the greatest t-shirts you'd ever see. It's the new James Farley t-shirt, and it's his mugshot from his speeding fine in Germany. This is genuinely available to buy now at tcgs.co/store. And I feel like I should say as well, did you add another t-shirt to that store this week?
Yeah, I slipped on the TCGS logo one while I was at it.
If you want the original, not the original, but if you want, well, I suppose it is the original TCGS logo t-shirt, that is available again as of now. So that's the TCGS logo, not the Computer Game Show logo. Just talk to Matt privately, DM him if you don't get it.
The podcast is the one with the 4 penises.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm gesturing with 3 fingers, 4 fingers. There we go. I can count, I promise. And then the TCGS logo is the cool square one, and that's for the overall brand network.
That's the brand. If you want to, so you got to make a decision, listeners. Do you support the brand or the podcast?
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference. I'm sure you can't either. But just pick one and buy them at tcgs.co.
I feel like we should have just
store.
the square one's cooler. We should have just switched to that.
Yeah, let's get one that's cooler. But at the time, like, there's no way we could have changed the theme music and the logo for the podcast. It was too much. So I don't know. I think the original podcast logo is the one that's never changing. But to have like something else above it, because we're doing like, you know, cooking streams and all sorts of other stuff. It made sense to have.
We were.
That's cool.
And then we sort of gave up. And now it is just the podcast and James telling them that there's no Bloodborne stream every week without any sort of explanation.
Well, I thought about.
He used to sort of explain himself, and now it's just like, yeah, not tonight, lads.
I know this is the thing. I thought about it. I thought, should I explain why I'm not doing this? Then I thought, it's not really a good reason. I just didn't feel like it, which was the thing. And so, yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna
Scientologist also points out in the chat that this usually takes place about an hour before. So everyone's gathered their snacks and said, "No, I can't come out tonight, dear."
Yeah, cancel that party.
Too late, James. A little bit more notice next time.
Especially when the Discord event goes live and says, "James is streaming now." Like,
there wasn't one though. There wasn't because I usually set those up, but I didn't set one up this week.
You set up the Discord events.
I've what do you mean? I've set up so it automatically repeats every single week.
Yeah,
I've been doing it as well. I've been doing them as well. So
why would you do that?
Because I didn't know you'd set one up. For my Bloodborne stream, right?
I think I have.
I don't think you have, Matt. Because I'd look. You go and have a look. I think you'll find. There's one for the show.
Here, Matt.
I don't think there's one for the other one.
I think James might have done Matt here. I think he might have done him.
No, here you go. James plays Bloodborne. Yeah, every single Friday at 9 p.m. it repeats. Yeah. I set that one up.
When did you set that one up?
Oh, James hasn't done that. Wow, how disappointing. That's
well, this is the first time. This is the first time because on the other ones that I've done, never did that before.
Okay, no one cares. Feedback, Matt, from last week's show. Let's move the show
Fucking
on.
hell, yes. Push Boss and Joe, dishwasher chat. What is wrong with Europeans? We are here in the
Antipodes.
Here in the Antipodes, we just have dishwashers and it's fine. Clean dishes and lower energy use ahoy. Absolutely astonished you people will argue about class and household appliances while having literal royalty and inherited titles. Sort out for goodness sake. Cut the heads of your blue-blooded lizard lords and buy everyone a lovely dishwasher with the money you save. Confused but still with love, Joe.
The fuck are you talking about, Joe? What was that? Did anyone understand this message?
Basically, he's saying that because we've got a king. God, I still forget.
Wow, put some respect.
Still clinging on. Still clinging on.
She's gone, Sean. She's gone.
Therefore, apparently, we can't have. That automatically means we're all posh, or just that we should overthrow the monarchy before we start arguing about whether or not having a dishwasher is posh. One of those.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to try and overthrow the monarchy fact. There's more repercussions to that than the arguing about the dishwasher, isn't there?
Yeah, we pick our battles basically.
Look, I'm a call me a coward, but I'd rather argue about dishwashers, to be honest with you.
Do you think you could take King Charles in a fight?
Oh,
with
easy.
those fingers, no chance.
Yeah, you'd wrap them around your neck and squeeze the life out of you.
Dead in
seconds.
What if you had a sword? You must have done fencing, right?
Almost certainly, yeah. I'd imagine so, yeah.
He fucking
or hunting
also,
rifle.
I bet you he's pretty good with the crossbow as well. I bet he's.
Oh yeah. Crossbow, bow and arrow. Yeah, the lot.
Where's this going?
I don't know.
We just
think
you've
got to fight the king.
Where it's going is you and King Charles on Twitch battling to the death. That's where it's going.
That's against terms of service, isn't it? I don't think we'll get away with that.
Okay, we'll do it on Rumble.
Twitch will allow anything if there's money in it. So
Daily Motion.
Yes, we'll do it on Blog TV, David. We'll bring it back.
Next bit of feedback, please.
Alex, hey lads, can you please post your social media content on Instagram as well as Blue Sky, etc.? For example, the James Farley speeding photo. IG is the only socials I use, and that's probably true for increasingly more people since Twitter is a dumpster fire and everything else is effort. Cheers. So. Yeah, I didn't.
I thought you did put it on Instagram, didn't you?
No, I put the well, I mean, I post every week on Instagram, like our like new post news new
Have we lost Matt? We've lost Matt. Matt's having a breakdown.
New
down.
episode socials is what I was trying to find. Yeah, new episode socials and other bits. And I did post about the t-shirts, but I didn't post the full large image of James on the Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Has been called out on your social media use, broken you, Matt, because you sound broken right now.
I was trying to remember think of the word, but the word is episode. Yeah, I don't post everything on thing because I feel like Instagram is less of like a constant post, like a Instagram, like a Twitter or Blue Sky. But I post most things, and I didn't post a picture, but. It was in the Discord. It was on the t-shirt.
You sound like this is your 1 year review. You defended yourself. Why didn't you do this, Matt? You sound like you're having a meltdown.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there is a good reason. I just didn't feel like the need really.
It's all right.
That's my reason.
It's okay.
All
I mean,
right.
let's face
That's
it.
all right,
Alex,
Alex.
just wanted the James Farley speeding photo. They're not gonna. They don't care about anything else.
No, I mean,
So
like
this doesn't
the
matter.
picture of T-shirts were on there. So well, what else can you do?
There might
Yeah,
be.
Alex.
I'm a bit concerned because I went into the city again yesterday, like driving.
Oh yes.
And I'm a
you've
bit
done it
concerned
again.
there might be another picture
See, this
coming.
is it.
Really?
He sells T-shirts. He cancels out the fine, and he's learned nothing.
No,
Hang on,
paying for
but
it all,
it must
yeah.
be like the UK, James. If we do it within a certain time frame, then it's much more severe. So
Probably, yeah. I mean, although I don't remember that. What was that? I can't remember. It was the beginning of the year. But no, this was
Well,
because
it's usually within 6 months.
yeah, whatever. So this weekend, I went through I think 2 lights that were just going red. At the moment, and I'm just worried I'm going to got flash from that.
Is that an issue?
This- I'll tell you something.
Yes.
Yeah, going through red
Legal.
light's an issue, Matt. I don't know if you noticed.
But no, it just gone red as I went through. It's like it was too dangerous to slow down at that point. So I
Yeah,
had
that's
to-
what I always tell myself.
yeah.
Oh, the guy behind me was going really fast. It would have been less safe.
yeah,
Yeah.
Stop. Let's
absolutely, yeah,
James,
yeah.
I'll just say this about your driving recently.
Go on.
None of this ever happened in a Honda Jazz.
It's true,
Yeah,
and this
go
is, this
back.
is
He's
the
got
thing,
himself
right?
a bad boy.
Yeah,
what
he
is
got a
it?
Golf
He's
now.
got himself
Or
a
a Golf.
VW now. He's
1.4.
lowered the
It's
suspension.
true.
Have you seen it? He's lowered the suspension. He's put those, those lights that project on.
Have
You
you
know
got
the
NOS
neon
on there?
lights that you put underneath
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He's put that on.
If you
I've seen
drill
Too
holes
Fast,
in the
Too Furious.
exhaust so that it sounds really loud.
It's true though, because when I was driving that, like my whole life, never had a single ticket, nothing. Like, and then as soon as I got this car, everything's been weird. Yeah.
Well, I mean, have you got any points on your license yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. He's
But-
working on it.
Do they do points on license in
Yeah, they
Germany?
do. Yeah, they do.
How have you not got points then? If you're grinning at the camera with your fist pumped,
No,
celebrating
because
going
it was-
over the speed limit.
Because I was doing 7 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, and they didn't consider it.
Yeah, that's a piss
it
take, frankly.
it wasn't like serious enough to be like.
But
given points.
It's mad because seven...
over here it's different. I did 36 or
That's
30.
that's not miles per hour though. It's like 7
Yeah.
kilometers per hour is
Yeah,
quite a lot less.
But
Yeah, I think I
7
did 36 and
over
a 30 and I got done.
7 over 30 is a lot worse than 7 over 70. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I could have killed the
Someone
child.
got caught out doing 7 over 70. Okay, right. Let's
Okay, the last bit of feedback from Annoying Tech Bro. I absolutely did have a wow moment with ChatGPT, and you should have done too. This isn't crypto, NFTs, or any of that bullshit. It really is world-changing stuff. I work in the university sector, and it's absolutely turned the way we evaluate students on its head. ChatGPT can pretty reliably generate a B to B minus level essay for any prompt I decide to set my students. They'll all be back doing handwritten exams within a couple of years, I'm sure. And I'm afraid to say, I absolutely think within 5 to 10 years, I'll be able to generate decent playable video games. To be clear, I don't think any of this is a good thing, but the new world is coming and it's coming quick.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, I think all that is true.
No,
And
all
it's-
that-
things are changing at such an alarming
Yeah,
rate,
the
but then
university
I
stuff,
think things will be put in place before that to, I mean,
Yes.
already things are probably put in place to like work out or detect whether things are clearly AI written. I mean, you can tell a mile off anyway if you see something AI written, but surely in the next year or so, something will have to be done because, yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think
so
there's
we
a
are
hell of a leap.
talking politics now. Is that what we talking about? We're not.
This is a
We're
pilot
not a
episode.
computer.
I do not believe with any length of time that it'll be generating full playable video games. I think that is insane.
No, I don't think that's true. And although, like, he's right, it can generate like essays like that because we've seen this. Like, I've seen this in my university. Seen this
See James Farley's book.
Yeah.
stuff written way before AI.
Further, yeah, there's a lot
But
of
if he
that.
comes out with another one, it's like, oh, it's even longer this time.
And
Like,
it's
well, hang on a
half the
minute.
time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
But yeah, but as Matt said, often it's like you can tell, and also it's there's no sourcing and stuff like that. Where does this come from and all that kind of stuff. There's loads of reasons why it's not great, and it also does get things wrong like quite frequently.
Well, this is
it's
it.
But I think I mean, decent is probably what I wouldn't disagree with, but I think there will be playable video games done within the next 5 to 10 years based on AI. I mean, like that Microsoft thing we had the other week of them.
Yeah, but that wasn't generating
I
games.
don't know,
That was
it was just
generating footage of games.
Yeah, but that's where we are now. I think within 10 years, I think they're probably I think it probably will be there. Whether they're good, no. Whether they're any way creative or the art that we love today, I don't think they will be. But I genuinely think
they won't be any way creative at all.
No,
exactly.
I think Matt's right.
I
it
think
will
there.
happen. It's going to happen, but it won't be good.
It'll be a shadow of what we like now as what we see games as.
I mean, there was a news story I didn't put in the news, but like, you know, how, you know, it turns out, you know, Call of Duty developers said they use generative AI for like parts of the game and stuff, which.
But that's parts of.
Yeah.
Like generating
not generating the entire
so
thing.
So different to, like, there's a reason that like, games A cost an absolute fortune to make and B often have problems because it's fucking difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm not convinced at all.
Well, I think it's going to be the equivalent of watching like AI, like playing an AI game is going to be the equivalent of watching an episode of The Simpsons or watching an episode of The Simpsons made with the Simpsons cartoon studio on the PC. And I still think back to the cartoons my sister made on that. I said, "Oh, look, watch it!" And it's like Homer Simpson, sort of just like floating in the air with his legs going. I'm just walking along, singing. It just, we need to get. Is there a way of doing that?
There will be.
There must. Yeah, you must be downloadable somewhere.
It's using AI.
I was thinking,
that's a stream.
That, or did you ever use 3D Movie Maker?
3D Movie Maker.
No, I knew of it. I didn't have a PC at home in those days.
Yeah, we each had to make a short film and then present it.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
That could be a great kind of TCS movie night.
Just having a look. It seems probably you can download this. That would be quite a fun stream, I think. Yeah, the Simpsons cartoon studio.
Yeah, but is that too limiting? Like, Matt, Sean, what's your name?
Jesus, you're like my nan.
Mate, don't even start. You know what Harry's name is. You know what Harry's name is. Like everyone calls Harry Harry now because that's all I do. Harry.
Yeah.
Charlie sang it to him on his birthday. He went, "Happy birthday, dear Harry."
It's available on abandonware. Like, you know, it's.
What is
the Simpsons cartoon studio?
Yes, okay, but we've moved on to that. We've moved on to 3D Movie Maker. Come on, old man. Let's keep up with the flow of the show, baby.
Not very nice. Not very nice. Just trying to be helpful, David. You know, to try and create.
It'd be helpful if you listen.
David, you should just, we should enjoy this part of the show. This is where James is Googling on our behalf. He's trying to engage in conversation. In 5 minutes,
I'm trying to figure out how we can create content here. You know, it's like
you're such a bloody content creator, James.
Who's done the most streams? Who's done the most streams over the last couple of years, Matt?
No, you. I'm being serious. You're the only one doing it, really.
I mean,
apart from us four who do it every Monday night. But yeah, it's like David.
Okay, well, no, never mind. Should we get on to the news? Talking of content from James Farley. Let's get to what he's best at. Let's get him back into his comfortable news shoes and go for the news of
That's what he's best at.
Whatever. Go on.
That wasn't very nice, Matt.
It was
That was very nice. Anyway, Sony have announced a official PSVR 2 price cut. So it's dropping.
Cool. Is it £6?
No. Yeah, it's more expensive than I need it to be.
Well, it's dropping to £400 in March. That's down from £530. I mean, what idiot would spend that much on one of those?
I'd love to know how many people bought it
slight discount
last week.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that whole trip for Chen was useless now. It's pointless now.
Yeah,
because you can actually get it even cheaper at this point.
She could have done several flights for that as well for the difference. It's
could have done.
Yeah, that's good.
I was thinking about when I saw this news come through. Was it £400?
Yeah.
And is that just for the head? There's no games.
No, you can also get. This is what's weird because according to Eurogamer, for the same price, there's also the option to get the one with Call of the Mountain as well, like the game. Presumably that's while stocks last or whatever, you know. As
It's clearing those others. Yeah. Firstly, right, there's two things I want to know. Well, there's one thing that I really want to know. At the sales figures over the past month, I want to see how many of the units they sold in the past, say since the start of the year until this announcement. How many units did they sell? Do you think it's about 50. I reckon it, like, and I'm talking worldwide. Like, I genuinely think it would be outrageously low.
I reckon it will be like single thousands. I reckon.
You think? You still
I reckon
I don't think
4 or 5
that
thousand.
much.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, I mean, that's a pittance. That's nothing. But
yeah,
totally. I reckon that the fact there was a couple of games shown at State of Play, and I reckon just say 3,500, 4,000. But
I think if you're not buying it at 530, you're not buying it at 400 either. I know it's a big
you're more likely
because enough.
That's close, obviously, to Quest price. It's a bit more competitive, but it's less about it's never been about the device. The device is great. We've always said that. Yep. It's the comfiest. It's the best screens. I love the controllers. It's it's connected to a PS5. It's never been about that. It's Sony's support of it, which is the concern. If there's full support, this is probably the best one. Yes, there's a cable, but
I don't think it would be. I think the cable is not just a throwaway line. I don't think it is the best one. Yeah. And you also need a £500 console with it. Yeah, but you also need the really expensive consoles to go with it. I don't know, man. I just don't see it.
Yeah, but this is really kind of only saying to people who've already got PS5.
And there's also this, right? And this is also the other problem with the wire. It's not the wire and how physical it is itself, but also, if, say, for example, you've got a small front room where you've got your PS5, but you've got like loads of space in another room, you have to unplug your PS5 and move it into the other room to use this thing. Whereas with a Quest, you just whack it on your head and you can have it wherever you want.
It's true. I mean, I've got one of these, and the cable, the cable doesn't bother me at all. Mostly because like the room I'm playing it in is not. It's not like tiny, so it's fine. But then also
got a PSVR 2 and a massive living room. What else have you?
But also, one of the advantages though is like no batteries, which is no like charging and all that kind of thing, which is quite handy.
That's true.
You just plug it in,
it allows for faster data transfer, better graphics, all that kind of stuff. So there are benefits, but
none of that really matters when there's no support from Sony whatsoever. It's and it's true.
And I guess I don't think that's probably not 100% fair because again they have announced PSVR games in the last couple of months or so at State of Plays, but it's just it's barely it's basically devs porting their games to PSVR, not Sony seemingly doing anything about it.
How is because this is the other thing I was wondering about this, like how is like the Quest like doing now? Like, and I mean, in terms of like new releases, stuff coming out like frequently and all that kind of stuff, is it still getting the same sort of support?
There's still stuff coming out regularly. There's nothing. There hasn't been anything where everyone's been like, "Holy shit, get your Quest out of the cupboard and download this."
No. The last one, what's the last one? I'm not sure, but probably
Miracle Paul did a lot.
Miracle was good, yeah.
Paul, there was a lot of people. I've been playing that. That's good fun. And I only really use it for a couple of games anyway. Like it's more of a social thing for me. But Walkabout Mini Golf is still getting support all the time. There's another new course coming out relatively soon, so we'll be playing that. It's but you're right though, James. I like the VR buzz is not exactly building at the moment, is it? It's sort of quietening down, and I'm sure it will come in waves as these things always do. But I just that's why I say if you're not buying it at 530, I can't see you buying it at 400.
No, neither can I, and I don't know why you would. Like, I mean,
no, it needs to be a massive price decrease, which Sony are never going to do because that would be ridiculous for anyone to pick these things up.
Yeah, this is like 200 quid.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what happened with PSVR 1. Yeah. People bought it early doors, and they paid a lot of money for it, and they really enjoyed it, and that was well supported. And then, do you remember that Christmas where they dropped it to $199 everywhere?
Yeah.
And then suddenly everyone was buying the fucking thing because it was like, yeah.
See, this I still think. I mean, this should have launched at like 350 or something like that for it to have had a chance. I think
they should have done a standalone PSVR.
Yeah, well, that would have been.
That's my view. They should have done that. Although based on their fucking battery lives they put in their pads, I don't trust them with handling battery very well. Because holy shit, that is not spoken about enough. By the way, obviously I've been smashing my PS5 for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. The battery life on those controllers are pathetic, like absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, whereas Xbox on the batteries seem to last forever.
It's like a Casio watch on a fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It definitely is the worst out of the three. Like if you think about the Switch Pro controller, I can't remember the last time I charged that. It's you know.
Yeah, mine's less good, but I don't know why that is. But yeah, it feels like okay, I've got to charge it again. But maybe I'll
those PS5 controllers are fucking outrageous for battery life. I swear they last less than the Portal. I swear the Portal lasts longer than the fucking normal DualSense. It's nuts.
I've been noticing because I've played the Portal a lot recently because I've been playing the Yakuza, and it's like that drains quite quickly as well.
It does. I mean,
was that a couple of hours, 3 hours?
Yeah,
2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Does it depend on the kind of game you're playing? Was it just a flat same amount every game?
You'd have thought it shouldn't because it's just a video stream.
It's a video feed, yeah.
So then why would it matter? But I guess also that it has got all like the DualSense stuff as well, like vibration.
Yeah,
like,
that
screen and
yeah. I sort of wish you could turn that off if it means that you get more battery life. But one last thing, I know this is really boring, and this is real sort of like we're all quite old now, and this is what we're talking about.
What are you talking about? I'm young.
What? You're not, Matt. We've been through this. You're not, mate.
Yeah, you are. You baby. Your child.
Why everyone's going, no, USB-C now. This has got to be the uniform way of charging things or whatever. Why is it not straightforward? Because there are things like where I'll charge Charlie's pad and a USB-C thing for ages and it just won't do anything.
Yeah,
and then some things don't charge and then you're like, well, this charges really quick. That's great. But then this one, it just won't charge this thing. It's like, this is really fucking winding me up.
I'll tell you for a fact that friend of the show, Chris Span, is punching the air right now as he hears this because he gets really wound up by this.
It's true, though. It's because there's some USB-C cables that don't have power, do they? Like
it's just data, no charge,
yeah, they're limited by
and there's no indication on the cable often as to whether it does this.
Wasn't there... about 6 months ago, maybe more than that. I think it was The Verge or someone was reviewing some new Elgato kit, and they did a whole article that was just like, look, we haven't even used the thing yet, but we've got it out of the box, and holy shit, the USB cables say on the cables what wattage they do and what data transfer rate. Why is this not standard? Like this.
but like even if that was on there, I wouldn't know. I'm going right. I've got this does this wattage, but I don't. And not only that, it's the little.
You shouldn't have to think about it, should you?
No.
You should just have the cable and it should just.
And then the little plug things that you put in that does different things. Like sometimes they do fast charging, sometimes they're shit. I've got a cable in my fucking case thing and it will charge my Portal just fine, but if I put the DualSense in it, leave it on overnight, doesn't charge it at all. The orange light flashes but doesn't charge it. It's fucking doing my nutting.
My solution to this was because obviously over the years, we've all amassed loads of like little like USB-C cables from various devices we bought and stuff. I threw the lot out and just bought some nice ones.
Yeah,
I was like, right, that's it. I know those are good.
Unfortunately, that's what you have to do. Yeah,
that is what I did. I bought just a load of like Anchor ones, which definitely do what they're supposed to do, which is good.
Do you know what really grinds my gears? Next week on What Grinds Turner's Gears, we'll be looking at coffee pods. Next news story.
Okay, so Warner Brothers is closing down 3 game studios, and they've also cancelled Wonder Woman. So Monolith is being shut down. Player First Games and also Warner Brothers San Diego is also being shut down. I'm not going to read the quote from the studio from Warner Brothers because it's just the usual platitudes, about the sort of thing. So there's not really much point. I mean, the Wonder Woman game, they announced that in 2021, and then it was rebooted again in 2024, and it's not very good. And apparently, Warner Brothers CEO, it's David Zaslav, said that the game division was a weak link for the company because it had underperformed. But their priority now to fix this is a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy, and that's going to fix everything because that sold 30 million copies.
I mean, that makes sense because that was one of the biggest selling games in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the loss of Monolith in particular is absolutely gutting because they're like 30 years old, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I never played the original Blood, but I remember back in the day played a lot of Blood 2 and Shogo.
Yeah, I played that at college. That was one of the few like LAN games we all played together. Blood was amazing.
Just a hell of a legacy. I never played No One Lives Forever. Apparently that holds up, but there's no.
That was also really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. God knows what it'd be like now, but yeah, like they're almost like it wasn't called Austin Powers, but it's very kind of
It was
60s
very
spy
Austin
and-
Powers, wasn't it? For some
Yeah.
reason,
But yeah,
it was
I love
definitely.
that.
I played that. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay.
All right.
Weird concept.
Show some respect.
Weird.
But
No,
also,
I know. Yeah, oh, right,
I don't
okay.
even think they were that good, actually.
It's like when someone at work dies that you really didn't like, and you go, "No, look, I did like them. I'm not
I think
comparing."
if someone at work dies, I'll be upset regardless.
Yeah, but let's not all stand around and say they were fun to be around. Let's not lie about the situation.
Stuart from accounts is gone, but he was actually a bit of a prick when it comes to invoicing. So
Yeah, I mean, you don't say at his funeral, fair, but it's yeah, okay.
But also, one of the other things that people have said is really bad about this is because Monolith had the Nemesis system thing, that never went
right.
anywhere because it was patented.
It's been in. Oh fuck me! I've forgotten the name of it now. It's been in another game that I really liked. It was the one that we got bollocked because I streamed it by accident when it was under embargo.
oh, when you broke the
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've had a few of those.
No, just the one.
all Sean.
I don't think. No, I've streamed something that was under embargo before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about it, so I'll have to talk. But I got a bit.
Did they
of
not catch you?
And then they caught me.
Okay.
That was
Yeah, they
GTA
sent
6,
me
wasn't it?
GTA
That was GTA
6,
6,
yeah. No, but I don't want to get anyone to we'll talk about it later. But yeah, I felt awful about that. Fucking
Star
awful.
Renegades, that was it. Really good,
Star
really
Renegades.
beautiful pixel art strategy game, and yeah, that had the Nemesis system in it basically. So I think
Right.
basically you would probably get away with it because don't you? It's like to enforce the copyright, don't you have to demonstrate that you are using it or at least actively defending it?
Aren't we past the Nemesis system though
Actually-
now?
I
Can
don't know,
I
I'd
ask
like
that?
to see it in.
I think we never got
It's
over it because it was such a
never
good
really
one in that
happened,
one.
did it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're doing similar effects of the Nemesis system without having to spell it out for the player anymore. You look at like I say Kingdom Come Deliverance. There's a lot of like I was wandering around some woods and someone was like, "What the fuck? You did this to me," and they knew exactly what I'd been doing, and then they attacked me for it, and that's very similar without it being really mechanical, right?
I suppose it's just about that. Yeah, people bearing grudges and your actions
Yeah.
having consequences down the line that you wouldn't necessarily.
That is full of it in Kingdom Come without showing you because I played the sequel to that game but it shows you a tree of people that you've affected, right? And I don't think you need that. Like, I think we're sort of past that. Yeah, and then just realizing, going, oh, you're that right? Okay.
So David hates Monolith and everything they've done.
And he thinks
It
that
does
the
sound like
Nemesis
that, doesn't
system
it?
was a
Sorry.
waste of time and doesn't matter.
No, I thought it was fantastic at the time. I just kind of think like,
Just grew out of it.
Yeah, there was a situation in Kingdom Come this week where I was walking through a town and some bloke turned around and had started having a go at me, and he was like, "Well, you attacked my family," and I was like, "Oh, I remember you." And then all of a sudden he's trying to hit me, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And then I just battered the shit out of him, and now whenever I walk past him in a town, he calls me the C word, and I just thought, this is as good as it gets. I don't need a
That's what
tree
they
showing me
call it,
who I've
the
upset.
C-word system.
I just looked into it. It's like what the pattern actually protects is it protects the Nemesis characters, Nemesis forts, social
I had a
vendettas,
really
and
good joke
followers in games. This
Okay.
comes
Yeah, I reckon
as
you
a
probably get around
hierarchy
that.
of procedurally generated NPCs that interact and remember the player's actions. So maybe like Kingdom Come is like
I
actually
think
they're not
that's too-
procedurally generated, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's too vague to stand up in court.
I don't think, yeah, and I
I
don't
mean,
think
they've
you
got the
can-
patent,
no.
so
Yeah, yeah.
Who
I think,
cares?
yeah.
We've gone beyond it now. It doesn't matter. Shall we move on?
News.
All
Anyway,
right.
Xbox has delayed Fable to 2026, and
Nah.
This was sneaky, wasn't it?
I've got a quote here. This is from Xbox Game Studios head Craig Duncan. He was talking on Xbox. Is it the official Xbox podcast? I think it is, or whatever it's called now. I don't know.
Yep.
And
Whatever it is they do it.
whatever they do,
Xbox now.
yeah, it's called the official Xbox podcast. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. I mean, he did the whole thing about like we want to give them more time and all that kind of stuff. But I quite like this. What he said. He says, "I have unequivocal confidence in the Playground team. If you think about their history and legacy for Forza Horizon, the last 2 games critically acclaimed, 92 on Metacritic, award-winning, beautiful, play great, and just what they're bringing to Fable as a franchise. Just think of the visuals of what you expect of a Playground games, plus amazing gameplay, British humour." Playground's version of Albion, so inspired by what's gone before with the franchise, but their take in, quite frankly, the most beautifully realised version of Albion you'll ever see. So really excited about the plans and really excited about the future. And I want the community to understand that we do these things for the best of the games and the teams, and ultimately that results in the best games or the best game for the community. So yeah, he's pretty
that is true.
about
Like, delays are. We want the game to be good, so delays not an issue.
Plus, Xbox are having a pretty good run at the moment, so why stuff the schedule
there's no
now?
point releasing this and it being poo. Yeah.
I mean, this all.
Did you see the footage? Did you see the footage they put out?
Yeah, the alpha gameplay.
Oh my god, it looks fucking incredible.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks fucking incredible. I mean, a lot of it is CGI and stuff like that. If the gameplay footage is to be believed, then this is going to look incredible. This video game, I'm very excited for Fable. I genuinely think it's going to be really good. There are some announcements when a big dev or publisher delay a game that you think, oh, this is worrying. I don't think this is one of them, and I think mainly because of how far ahead they got before they announced it. Like this, we weren't expecting this game anytime soon anyway. So taking that step is not a worrying thing for me. I genuinely think it's going to be brilliant. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, watch the footage, Sean. It's very brief, but some of it looks.
Yeah, the video is only
great.
like 50 seconds, isn't it? That video, but I mean, like, I'm sometimes disappointed if a game is delayed if I'm excited for it. But ultimately, I know it's best for the game. So yeah. This makes me actually more excited. Like, they could have rushed out, but there's more. It's getting cooked a little bit longer now, so this is good.
Do you ever feel a bit weird when they say, I don't know if it's aimed at Americans or what, but when they say, oh, no, it's got, it's full of British humour. And I want to go,
you guys seen Faulty Towers?
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I've seen Mrs. Brown's Boys. You know what I mean? It's like, let's not.
Well, I think it's aimed at a global audience, isn't it?
Okay, but I'm just saying, British humour is a weird concept to me.
We're just irreverent, aren't we? We're just irreverent folks.
Yeah.
But
anyway, I'm very happy about this news.
I was going to say...
I know, I was going to say, connected with this, Sean wants to talk about the Fantasy Critic.
Why are you
League
happy with this news? Why are you happy with this news?
We would check in at the end of February. It's now the beginning of March.
So we've missed that. The end of if we'd have checked in at the end of February, you wouldn't be top of the league, Sean. So suddenly we're checking
February
at the start.
has ended, and now we're checking in. This is the closest recording to the end of February.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want to say about the
host
fantasy?
I was just going to check in and just see where we're up to. See what who's at number one and who's at.
Sean's at number one.
I'm at number one. I'm also buzzing because Fable is one of my counter picks.
But that doesn't help you though, does it? I thought
it means I don't lose any points. The whole thing with the counter picks is you're just trying not to lose points.
Oh, okay.
If someone else has put a game in their list, unless they've really fucked it, then it's going to be good, right? And therefore, when you're choosing the counter picks, you're betting the game's either going to be bad or not come out. Not come out is more likely, and basically, yeah. So I get 0 points for that, but that means I don't lose any. So you're supposed to consider it a positive. It is weird, and we didn't know when we first set this up. We hadn't read up on this bit, so we didn't
have a clue.
Yeah, I really thought it'd be like mad bonuses for like.
I had no idea what's going on.
Counter picked Fable, shit, you'll get 20 points for that, but it's just get 0. But hey,
yeah. But Dave doesn't want to talk about this because he's in last place.
Only because I picked Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as a counter pick. That's what screwed me. Otherwise, I'd be in first. I think.
Really
and also,
I wouldn't.
Football Manager has got cancelled, and now Fable's
yeah, I would
delayed.
be in first. I would have been on 25 points had I not picked Kingdom Come Deliverance.
But then that's interesting because with Football Manager, no one counter picked it, so we can replace that with something else. But Fable, he can't because me counter picking it locked it in. So that's another reason it's like a benefit to me.
I can get rid of what?
I
can get rid of what? Sorry.
Was it you that picked Football Manager, or was that someone else?
I picked Football Manager, yeah.
Right, so because that got delayed, you can replace that.
I can replace it. Oh, I see.
He's already replaced it.
Okay, right. Well, this is why I didn't want to talk about it, Sean. Now we're going to have to go into what's been going on the past month.
Nothing's been going on.
No, don't you start.
What is going on? I've not even looked at this website.
Okay,
we need to calm down. Right, can I just explain what happened this week? Can I just explain this week what happened? Right. So, well, in fact, actually, 2 weeks ago, I thought, I'm sure Sean mentioned that we can pick more games. So I went on and I thought, I'm going to be sneaky here and pick Mixtape because I think that's going to be I'm going to think that's going to score really well. And so I put it in, not quite understanding what I was doing. And it said, oh, Sean already has this game, so you can't pick it. And I was like, oh, right, okay, fine. And then, like, a couple of weeks later, I went back to the lists again and I went, he has picked Mixtape, but hold on. He's got 2 more games than everyone else. Sean has gone and picked. Now, look,
but
I'll say
this. Of games now.
When we set this up.
Yes. You said all this when you set this up, right? Yeah. All of this information was out there. Yeah. I get it, right? We all could be doing this, but none of us understood it, right? None of us understood this fucking thing. Even when you would talk about it on the podcast when we set it up, I was like, I'm fucking lost. Like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what a counter pick is. I don't know what. But Sean went about. I don't think you cheated, and I'm not having a go at you for doing anything wrong. You went about your business very quietly, right? Yes, I did. So anyway, the way it works, guys, right, is that you can bid on games. You've all got $100 each, right? And you can bid on a game. So you could say, I want that game for $1. Then if anyone else bids on that within a week with more money, then they get that game. So you've got to try and outbid each other to get a game on your list, right?
Okay.
Sean has sneakily gone, no one's paying attention. I'm going to select a couple of games here and save myself a bit of money. So I noticed this and said, Sean, I won't grass you up if you don't try and bid this week, and I'm going to select a couple of games. So I've added to my list of games, I've added Tony Hawk's Remake 3 and 4, which is getting announced tomorrow. And the Shinobi game that was announced last week. So I've dropped Football Manager. I dropped Football Manager as part of one of my picks.
So Matt, we've been stitched up.
I got both of those.
Up.
You're not being stitched up.
That you've got a budget and you can bid on extra games.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It just so happens that I've bid $1 on each of the 2 games that I've bought.
You guys got these games at bargain prices. When James and I go in, it'll be like inflation all over again.
Like $5, but apparently not.
No, I told Sean when there's a minimum bid of $5, and I replied to him, "No, there isn't." Although I didn't understand it, so one of them I bid $10 for anyway, so I spent more money.
I do think if we do this again, which the way it's currently going, maybe not. I think we.
Thanks for learning.
I think we have set weeks through the year. So we say every 3 months there's a week where we can bid on stuff.
I thought that's what we were going to do.
No, we never said we were going to. No, we never
back
said
to my
we were going to do
WhatsApps
that.
because about that.
Yeah, I don't think we ever said we were going to do that.
So just to clarify on the bids thing, it says here on the website bids were revealed in 3 days, 3 hours. So is it what? Is it like
a weekly
Thursday
cycle,
to Thursday?
Yeah, it's like a weekly cycle. Yeah, I don't understand it. I still don't understand it. What worries me is I don't think the listeners understand it. I did get a few messages from anonymous sources saying, "The fuck is this Critic thing about? I don't get what's happening. What is a counter pick?" And all I could say was, I don't know. But for those of you that want to keep track, at the moment in first place is Flobbledob Software and Sons with 19 points, joint at the top with Electronic Farts. That's Matt Murray's label. In third place is James Farley's Farley Point Interactive. With 11 points, and in last place, rock bottom, is Big Sammy Holdings with 6 points, and that's mainly because
I'm not winning because I've picked about 10 indie games that have all sneakily come out and got 90. It's literally just Monster Hunter. That's all my points.
Yeah.
There's plenty to happen. Yeah.
I've got points just because of the counter pick. That's Why aren't
that's
there?
right, because Kingdom Come.
None of my games are out yet, so I should probably start thinking about this bid shit.
Yeah, if you're gonna, you haven't got
do
the
this week,
advantage of
James.
getting
It'd be too
$1 games
expensive.
anymore.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm gonna wait a bit. It's stupid to buy now in this economy.
So what have we got coming up? So even just in March, we've got Split Fiction, which is Dave, and then I've got Wonder Stop and Atom Fall.
Split Fiction's this
Blueprint
week.
has a
this
release
week, yeah,
date now.
the
That was
6th.
a gamble. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, when's the embargo? Do you know when the embargo's up for that?
I don't
Split
know.
Fiction.
No.
Because we'll talk about it later, but I'm really looking forward to that this week. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Are we going to stream that?
You've
should
got
do, yeah.
to.
Because
No, not we should do. You've got to. That's do the drinking thing again. You've got to do it all again. I've been watching your stream. It was so good.
Yeah, no, I do want to.
So good.
Yeah, I do want to. But if we want to do like dual gameplay, I'm gonna have to wait a bit. But if we just do like a regular old stream where
Matt
I'm
needs
on
to
voice,
listeners. Matt needs to spend $3,000 on a PC. Apparently, don't get me started on this. This is.
don't have to, but why not? Lovely old job.
Why not? Loads of reasons why not, Matt.
Well, I wanted the best. You can put it almost your best you can get. So
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
but
best
when
you
we
can get
asked
in a
why you-
month's time will no longer be the best anymore. So,
well, no, but the 50-80 cards give you the best until the 60-80.
Do you know what that means, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to wait another year for like another expensive card. I want one now, so there's pieces on its last legs.
£3,000 for a PC.
I'm
I
excited.
can't. You get. Love you. I actually love you, Matt. That's it. I actually love you as a
pumped.
person.
I'm pumped.
That is your sort of just over 2 monthly update on the Fantasy Critic update. Can we get we'll just do a jingle for that?
we need a theme, don't we? Yeah, we need a. Yeah.
Just, wah, wah. Maybe it's just that. Okay. James Farley, what's the next news story?
Next story is that more than 40% of all US PS5 and Xbox play time last month was spent on 10 live service games. This is according to Matt Piscatella, who's an analyst, and he says that he pointed out that more than 70% of active PS5 and Xbox Series X users in the US played at least one of the top 10 live service games in January. And also, these 10 live service games have been popular enough to combine command a combined 40% of all playtime spent across the entire PS5 and Xbox Series X and S libraries last month.
Time to play a game. Let's play a game. Get those 10 live games. Me, Matt, and Sean have to try and pick them.
I don't know what they are because he doesn't list them in the thing. So
Yeah, they're not in this
Why
piece.
would he
I
not
won't
list
find what
them?
they are.
I don't know. He didn't list them, so I'm not sure what they are.
What's the point of this fucking story then?
Well, no, the point of the story is to say, I mean, because this is the quote that it comes onto. He says, it used to be that players would jump from big game to some other games, but they were most often moving to something new that they purchased. Now, the live service games suck out a ton of available time, and it's hard to beat free if it's good. So here we are.
Right.
And so the
We
whole
know
point
that.
is that it's like he's arguing that it's been damaging to games overall because it means that
Been
people
saying
are
this for
not
a while, though,
playing
haven't we?
new stuff.
Yeah,
you don't
we've
like
been
enough.
saying this for a while. This is hardly insight. Tell us what the top 10 games are. You can't hit at the top, hint at the top 10 list and then just go, don't worry about it.
Well-
Don't worry about it.
Games data platform Yuzu, I can tell you 5 of the ones that they've got on there.
Right, okay, let's get the 5. Are these the top 5?
Yeah, although these are from 2023, but continue.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It won't.
fucking hell.
No, think about it. It won't have
No, I'm
changed.
not annoyed at you. It's just
Yes, it
funny
will.
how this is-
Yes, it will have changed.
Well, not,
I reckon
not significantly.
I reckon
but-
if we're going in the last couple of months, I reckon Marvel
okay,
Rivals will be
just
up
try and
there.
get the 5.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, right. So Fortnite,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roblox,
Yeah.
PUBG.
Minecraft.
GTA.
Minecraft is
Oh,
one. Yes.
Minecraft,
Hang on, Minecraft's not. Oh no, is it just? Sorry, it's just service games, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
just service games, yeah. Right. So yeah, GTA 6, GTA 5.
Yep.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
Is PUBG on there?
Nope.
Rocket
No, it won't
League.
be PUBG.
No.
No, not Rocket League.
League of Legends.
Yeah, and I guess
yeah.
So this isn't just console.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was never stipulated.
Yeah.
Well, it was the US PS5 and Xbox playtime.
But this is the data from Newzoo, which is a different.
Okay, let's move on to the next one because this story is dreadful. Without the top 10, this is dreadful.
Do that one instead.
It is weird though, isn't it, that you wouldn't list these 10.
Yes, James,
10
it
games.
is. Yeah. And did you acknowledge that and then say I'm going to read it out on the show anyway, or?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
There's no way they will ask me for the list.
I did think that would happen, but then I thought it'd be funnier to have you all have a go as usual. Anyway,
no, you didn't.
Oh yeah, so he planned it. It was all planned.
Yeah.
It's wheels within wheels here going on.
Playing 4D chess here, and we're just like.
It's wheels within wheels, and they're all going steadily over the speed limit.
By 7 miles an hour, kilometers an hour.
So, final story is about Monster Hunter Wilds, because it turns out that character editing has been locked behind microtransactions.
It doesn't turn out that that's the case, though, does it, James?
Well, no, it does, because let's continue.
It doesn't turn out that because it was announced ages ago.
But
crucially,
calm down.
Calm down, Jack.
Stop here. Let's just stop at this moment.
What's going to happen now?
Let's stop at this moment, right? Because one of the things that's quite interesting about that, Sean, is that during the review period for this game, this was not known.
Is this people not reading the review notes again, like they did with Dragon's Dogma 2?
I don't know. According to Video Games Chronicle, these people didn't know about this. It was so maybe some of those
reviewers even got copies.
Maybe some of those review scores would be a little bit lower, and you'd be a bit lower in the fantasy league if
saying I did this.
I'm not saying you did this.
Wait, what's your problem, Sean? It's still bad.
No. To be absolutely clear, charging money to edit your character's appearance is fucking insane. Obviously, right. What's a little bit misleading is you can edit loads of stuff about your character still. You just can't change.
These are the things you can edit: your hair, eyebrow color, facial color, makeup, and clothing of your character. But also, this extends to the companions as well. You can't edit these. You have to also pay for vouchers.
Wait, no, hold on. You can edit those things? What can't you edit?
Would this be things like size and all that kind of stuff, or
Yeah, I think like your body shape or body type, so like male or female or what have you. It's because basically this is why I don't care about this shit, and I think people write about it for the sake of salacious headlines. Sorry. Same as with Dragon's Dogma 2. It's like, who fucking cares? I don't.
Well, I think it does matter actually. Something like this.
What do
you mean why?
You're playing the game. You're like, I really want to change. I want to change my character actually. And I can't believe. But
especially a game about
one free change as well.
This is absurd, Sean. If this was a different game, and you were saying to me, like in almost loads of other games, you could change. Like you could change your appearance. You could do that. It doesn't cost anything. Yeah. I don't see how it's defendable to put something like this behind a paywall.
I just said it's not. I said it's bollocks.
So then why are you getting annoyed about the story?
Because I think people enjoy making a fuss about it when actually it doesn't really affect anyone because it's such a.
Of course it does. It means you've got to pay for it.
Thing. No, but how many people are actually going? Oh shit. I actually really want to completely edit my character now.
Well, probably enough, because otherwise they wouldn't put it behind a paywall.
Yeah, but are you sure they're not just preying on rich idiots?
Well, I'm sure they...
Well, I think... But this game...
and like Dogma 2, it was like, you can pay to get these extra items that we don't need them. So...
Right, but I think changing the way your character looks should be free when you've bought the game, right? Like, it's a full price game, is it?
It's a what, sorry? Full price game, yeah.
So I do kind of...
But the point is, this was announced beforehand, but everyone's like enjoying getting a story out of it because they know it's pissed people off. Whereas actually, this was already known before the game came out, because Capcom were always
not to a lot of reviewers, apparently,
because they know what people are like. And and I think Capcom's like strategy with microtransactions has been nuts for a while. They've been charging for weird shit. But as someone who plays and enjoys those games, it's always stuff that I'm like, oh right, well I would never pay for that stuff anyway.
I mean, you might not,
because you're not personally bothered by this, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I don't think it bothers most players. I don't think it bothers most players. I don't think the actual reality of it is that many people will buy this.
Many people buy what the costume,
the $6 voucher.
I don't think that many people will pay.
Does that kind of make it worse? Because if many people won't bother doing it, then isn't it then what's the point in fucking putting it behind a paywall?
There's no way that's the thing. There's no way that people are not doing this because they wouldn't have done this unless they knew people were going to spend money on it.
Obviously, some people do. I'm just saying, like, as a player and enjoyer of these games, none of these have ever affected me. They're not like in the game, like, oh, fucking buy this, pay for this. Like, it's just so superfluous to the actual experience of playing the game.
For you.
And it's just, I think it's a fuss over, like, very little. I think it is obviously, it is weird, and they shouldn't be charging for that shit. I just think the fuss around it is weird.
I think it's just nickel and diamond people needlessly. Like, I mean, in a game that's very much about fashion, I'd be like a Destiny where say you want to, change this and change that. Also be able to change how you look as a person or beneath the clothing and the armor and stuff is important. And it's kind of, I mean, whether it is publicized, communicated before or not, it's still shitty.
I don't think people pointing out that a feature that like most games have of this kind of genre that you have to pay for in this game is a weird thing to do. I don't see how it's weird to point this out.
I think doing it now that the game's out is weird when it was announced ages ago.
Did they explain why at the time, why they were doing this?
No, of course not. We know why.
It's money, revenue streams. That's why.
Yeah, it is shitty. I don't see a problem them talking like publications talking about it now. It seems like if it is pissing people off, then it needs to be reported on. But that is a fucking weird thing to go for, though. I think it's a really weird thing to go for. It's the sort of thing you'd see in a free to play game, but for a full price release to then say if you want to change the way your character looks, you need to pay. I don't think what the fuck is going on there. Like what?
No, it is weird. Like it's less defensible than like like when games come out. So like when I talked about like Warriors Abyss the other week, and that was like this wasn't a full price game, but it was you can pay for extra outfits even though the game's just come out.
Right.
That's shit, and that's still probably more defensible than something that is clearly already coded into the game and anyone could do it.
Right.
The fuss around it is just like, guys, you'll if you actually play the game, you wouldn't care.
Okay. I mean, I've not played the game. I don't know.
You're pulling that face, James, but you're not saying anything.
No. I was reading back this whole thing about whether people knew about it before.
Okay.
And
well, they did because it happened. It happened with Rise and World. So, with Rise and with World and Rise, it happened the same thing as well. So. But not new news, but it's still shitty.
I mean, I don't understand why it matters that people are saying that this is happening. Why does that matter? Why do you care?
Why do I care? Well, you brought it up, James.
I know because it's a news
and I'm
story.
Being
this is
asked
the
my
news.
Opinion. So
I know, but this is a news story. It's the news, and so we brought it up.
You choose which news stories go on the show, James.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
for this reason.
And you've put so.
Are you still arguing? It sounds like you're agreeing.
It's important that this story is out there.
Do you know what?
The extreme.
I don't like it when there's an argument on the show and I'm not the antagonist in the situation. Now I know why you guys have felt uncomfortable for the past 6 or 7 years that we've been. This is weird. Are we?
It's just. I don't think it's that.
It's just salacious headlines, right? Yeah. Okay, that's the end of the news for this week. And what have you been playing, Sean?
Just some indie stuff.
Sean spent 65 quid changing his character.
Yeah.
Matt, the problem is I don't think this has ended because I think the more that Sean talks about this game now, the more little digs James is going to slip in until this.
How much did that cost you, you prick?
Everyone
options, didn't you? Oh,
everyone that we're going to lose James, he's going to faint.
Yeah, he hasn't muted himself this time.
No, he hasn't.
Oh dear. Sorry, that was very good, Matt.
The thing that worries me is like people have a go at me. Oh, David always argues and he's horrible and he's this, that, and the other. I do it in a controlled way. I'm a professional. When these two are going at it,
emotion.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen.
You know, he put
scary,
the story
actually.
in to wind me up.
Do you think? Did
Yeah.
you, James?
Of course he did.
Yeah, of course I did. It's
Yeah, but why
part
does
of the
it wind you
narrative.
up?
I know, that's what I don't understand. So who
Because
cares?
it's just such a this is one of the best fucking games of the year. And we're starting
think it
with
can
a
be with
conversation
this
about
sort of
some
nickel and diming.
microtransactions that
Exactly,
none of
yeah.
you would even see in the game or ever give a shit about.
Okay.
I
think
mean,
it's important to
putting a
highlight-
basic feature behind a paywall's,
Which you will never encounter it. I fucking guarantee you, unless you went out of your way to find it, it would not.
Well, no, but if you want to
or
edit your character, which I think there must be millions of people who want to do it with their character. You may not want to, but some will, and like I think that's
and you
it's
can
weird.
once. And even
It's
as
very
I say,
generous.
there's only certain
For free.
edits you can't make without it. Like it's really.
Does that
not a
include
big deal.
changing your voice, Sean?
Yeah, you can change your voice.
just
for
pay
free?
for that.
Free, even for free. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, good, because I don't like my voice.
Okay. Good.
I don't like your voice either, Matt.
Let's not get personal.
Why is it one of the best games of the year, in spite of this
Disgusting.
frankly exploitative behaviour?
Yeah.
Why is this one of the
Makes
best
me
games of
sick.
the year, Sean?
Well, it's been an interesting one because it's. I'm not going to go through what Monster Hunter is at this point. I think most people know. What's been interesting about this one is Monster Hunter has always been split into different ranks, right? You start the game, you're at low rank, you play a bunch of it, you eventually get into high rank. Increasingly, it's got that sort of FromSoft problem in that you've got people who've put fucking hundreds of hours into it over loads of different games, and they just want to get to high rank, right? Low rank doesn't even fucking count anymore. Whereas to a lot of people, they'll probably just play low rank, see credits, and be like, right, I'm done. See you later. And that's obviously fine. This game, as good as it is, makes that split like way more apparent, I think, because there is like a fully featured campaign story mode, like 15, 20 hours. But that's actually quite hard to co-op with your friends because it's constantly broken up with cutscenes and story bits and stuff. So you can't really seamlessly be like, right, we've all bought the game, let's 4 of us join up and do the story together. Because you'll be cutting in and out and doing cutscenes, and as I say, and then there'll be certain story bits where you have to just wander about finding stuff. And then when you get into
that
the
would
hunt,
never work. That would never work in any co-op
Exactly.
game like that, right? It's almost impossible. Destiny,
Yeah,
the Halo game we played, Matt, where it was like we
Halo
were just
4, yeah.
talking through all of the fucking
that's the one I've
cutscenes.
said before. The one Halo game, I know literally nothing about the entire game because we were just chatting for the entire. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It's always
so
been a problem.
It's created this
Good
weird
fun, though.
situation where if you're buying this and you've got people you want to play with, they're probably just going to say, yeah, just do the campaign, see you in 20 hours. Which is not great, obviously. That's quite poor. That being said, as I say, there'll be enough people who buy this and just play through low rank, see the credits, and they feel they've had an experience, and that's it, and that's absolutely fine. But there is this strange split, and especially when it doesn't really need a story. The story's not interesting. It's not. I started skipping most of the cutscenes about halfway through, and then sort of picked them up later on. But I've got through the campaign. I've seen the end credits and everything. Now
How long did that take you? 20 hours then?
about 20 hours, yeah.
Okay.
And that includes like a couple of sessions, like trying to play with friends, but again, very much being like doing a hunt with them, and then me being like, right, I'm doing the story stuff again now. See you in 10 minutes. Like you're still in voice chat with each other, but the menus as well fucking suck. Jesus Christ, it's
overwhelming. I've watched a lot of tutorial videos on this game.
Like, I mean, how many games have like, there's guides on websites for the menus? Like, that's how bad it is. Right? There's like, I mean, I'm still loading it up, and I'm like trying to add friends to it, and I'm having to remind myself how to do that when I load it up. So that's not great either. However, the experience of the hunt like is just like it's still fantastic. There's like 14 different weapon types. They've all they've all had a bit of a rework. There's this new wounding system which makes no sense, but it's cool as fuck. Basically, if you do a certain amount of damage to a certain bit of a monster, a wound will appear, which you then do like bonus damage to, and if you do enough damage to it, it destroys the wound.
Yeah, I thought that was so weird.
Doesn't make any sense at all. But then basically, so it does like a shitload of damage to that one spot, and then the wound disappears. And there's like certain moves you can do when a monster has got a wound on it. So like I'm a sword and shield user, so I can do this like one attack where I'll sort of poke at the wound, and then no jokes please, and yeah, and sort of grab onto
episode
it.
Title.
And then so I'll grab
episode
onto
title,
it,
Matt. Write it down.
What do you say?
Poke the wound, please.
That's gross.
Oh come on! And then some of the stuff we say on this fucking show, you having a laugh?
And then and then basically you do a shitload of damage to it, and it feels great. So that's really cool. And yeah, having played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Monster Hunter before, I am once again back to having to watch weapon tutorials because the changes are significant enough with each one. Even the weapons I think I know really well, it's like, oh no shit, combos have changed, the way the moves work is different and stuff. And it's and it's fun feeling like an idiot again and having to relearn things. And it's I think I've mentioned this before. Like part of the appeal of this is previous Monster Hunter games. You start in your town or village or whatever, and then you take a quest, which is like right, you need to kill this one monster. You get teleported to where that the sort of rough area where that monster is. You fight it. Okay, you did it. Loading screen, back to town again, and it's that constant back and forth. Whereas this is more like you just go out. You go out on a little voyage, and there's like certain spots where you can set up campsites, and you can just be out for like in-game days at a time before you go back to town, and it just feels weirdly cool doing that instead of it just being this very obvious like, okay, you've taken this mission, do this mission, come back, do this mission, come back. It's just like, no, we're just out on safari and we're just seeing what's around and killing stuff. And like you might, you're playing in a group, some people might have certain bits of kit they want to make which they need certain monster parts for, so you'd be picking and choosing stuff, what you want to do. But like that stuff is great. But again, that's only really once you get to high rank. Prior to that, you are very much led around these various areas of the game by the nose. And try, right, this is where the next story monster is. This is the next one. This is the next one. Here's a cutscene. Here's the next monster. Which is fine. It's fun enough, but it doesn't really shine until you get to high rank. And I feel shit saying that because, as I say, there'll be plenty of people who don't ever engage with that stuff. I mean, Matt, how are you getting on with it?
Well, just on that point, just before I talk about me, I think I get the impression actually I could probably forego any of the looking at the meta or this or that, and probably just skate through this campaign without really looking deeply in terms of the various like mechanics. Yeah. But yeah, so I played World. World was my first Monster Hunter game. I loved that. Played a bit with John Denton and some other people. I don't know how many hours I played. I don't remember. So the previous one didn't have a campaign, did they, Sean?
They
so
do,
I guess I just...
but they.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's so like World had a campaign where it was a series of missions. You can co-op them or not, like depending on. But they didn't have as many cutscenes in World, right? The cutscenes generally happened like in the town bit, and then you would go out and you would all be hunting together. Whereas this is like you're going out into the world, and then there are more cutscenes before the hunt actually starts, which is
very much feels like a campaign. Whereas before I just feel like I'll just play online. But so I knew of Monster Hunter in that I played it, but coming to this, it felt like I was basically starting again fresh. And I heard, some of the many good points about this was that they'd, made it easier for newcomers, but some of the negatives were that they kind of sanded off the edges of what made Monster Hunter to make it, more palatable for a wider audience. But I think I probably played like 8 to 10 hours. I mean, my clock says like 25 because I decided to get on pause and whatever. But I think 8 to 10, and I'm almost in chapter 3. I think it's like 5 chapters, isn't there?
So quite a way through then. Yeah.
I think I'm like 2.5. Two and a bit away, 2.5 ways through. But it's incredibly overwhelming. Like I started a game, thought okay, I'll be fine. I was like, oh, no, this is too much. I watched things to know before we play Monster Hunter. I was like, okay, now I know a little bit more in context. I'll watch that. It's fine. Played a bit more. I was like, I don't know the menus are, as you said, ridiculous. There's so much to see and do, like, you know, even the various mechanics about, you know, if a monster is weak to a certain thing, how do I find out what they're weak to, you know, which element, where the weak points. The menus aren't even just complicated, they're just confusing, and there's so many of them. So then I watched like a, you know, 20 like an absolute beginners like a video again on Polygon. That was really good actually. I was like, okay, so I do get generally like what the kind of routine is. You go here, you do this, you know, you fill up with all your supplies and your food and whatever it is, and then you go out and do your hunts. And it's really it's incredibly fun. I'm absolutely loving the main combat. It's just I feel like the mechanics or the overwhelming kind of complexity and the menus are kind of getting in the way of that fun. And what I love about things like a Destiny is understanding what the meta is and saying, okay, I'll go here, I'll upgrade this, I'm going towards upgrading that certain armor set, and I'll go out and I'll go and kill a certain monster or this and the other. And I'm not quite there yet. I mean, I'm being taken along
you're comparing this to a game that you knew well. I mean, remember the first time every time fucking Destiny launched and you were like, right, I've no idea what any of this shit is, and it's not, you take a little while. And this is
so much more complicated than Destiny ever was. But the actual hunts themselves are fantastic, and I think the wounding system is brilliant. I kind of forgot that wasn't in there before, but and you're saying there's like a new system, but for me that is how you take them down. Like as you do damage these monsters, and like, you know, they're like, you know, their front leg like goes red, go for that, and then, you know, various parts of their body. I'm basically like going through and like taking off all the various parts of their body to make sure they're kind of done. And like it's amazingly fun. I'm playing, my main weapon is a long sword, and then my secondary is a bow gun, one of the bow guns, long bow gun, I don't know, it's a gun basically. And I'm basically kind of playing it like a Dark Souls. I'm evading, or, you know, jumping away from certain attacks, jumping into certain attacks, you know, attacking, jumping out. So I'm playing it much more like a Souls-born game. Maybe that's the wrong way to play it, I'm not sure.
No, that's totally valid.
It's
got
really,
that,
really
like,
fun.
It's got that thing of good boss design that, like, if you're not on the attack, like, it's actually not that hard to avoid what the boss is doing, right? If you just want to run around and just watch them, you'd probably be all right. But it's as soon as you start being like, right, well, I'm going to try and hit them now. Oh no, I'm having problems. Yeah,
I've been poisoned. I've been put to sleep. I've been this and that. You know. Yeah. But there's just lots of things that get in the way. Like, okay, so I've got two weapons, and I had to Google how to switch weapons, which says everything about this game. Kind of like I've you know, what's her name? Who's a smithy? Gemma.
Oh, Gemma. Yeah.
Gemma the Smithy, yes. When she was like, "Hey, you got a second weapon?" I was like, "Great! Like, how do I switch? I'm in combat, and I know you got to get on your chocobo-like creature called a sacred or secret to switch your weapon. So I could be there like about to attack. No, like you press up on the D-pad to like almost exactly like the chocobos in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. Like they come towards you, you're then, you know, on this furry bird running around the environment, but that's the only place to actually like switch your weapon, which I think why is that the case? Like,
well, because you'd be so overpowered if you could just switch wherever you wanted. Like, I think that would make probably. But well, yeah.
So it's saying, you know, because you didn't switch before, it's now punishing you to press up, get on the sacred, then switch and jump off. It just feels like needlessly complicated for me personally. But I haven't said, but like the actual hunts themselves are really, really fun. Like it's great. Like, you know, going up to an animal and like a monster, trying to work out what their attacks are going to be, and then wait for the various kind of parts of their body to glow red and hit them. And they're really, really exciting. I've obviously seen this meme going around today on Blue Sky about. I'm not sure what website it is, but someone posting about the fact that the first mod I'm installing is this health bar mod over a monster's head, because you don't see a health bar, but the whole point of Monster Hunter, I believe, is the fact you're kind of like looking for signs, how injured they are, if they're limping, or how many times they run away to the next location, or are they at their nest, to basically determine how close to the end of the fight you are. But so I'm not going that far, but I feel like maybe some quality of life things would have maybe make it a little bit easier. Like, also when I see a monster straight away, I want to, again, this is what happened in Final Fantasy Rebirth. I want to, like, I don't know, assess them or do something to determine, okay, what are they weak to, like, straight away, rather than just kind of guessing or waiting till they do their attacks and then saying, well, if they're showing those attacks, maybe they're weak to that. Or it's just not as it's not as intuitive or seamless as Final Fantasy Rebirth. I'm like, okay, brilliant, brand new enemy, assess them. Okay, they're weak to this. Now I can change my elemental attacks accordingly to take on this boss. It feels like a little bit of
because it might not just say you're going to fight something and it's like, oh right, it's weak to fire damage. You might not have a fire weapon at that point.
Yeah.
So it's not even a case of like, oh, I'll just equip this. It's like, no, you might need to go away and be like, right, no, I need to hunt something else that's going to give me a fire weapon first, and then I can take it on. So yeah, it's. I mean, it's been worse. Like it's definitely, like when you're looking at your list of like available monsters you can hunt, it does show like elemental weaknesses there.
Yeah. So you go into that menu,
So they have tried to make it a bit more seamless. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like if you just come across a completely new monster, you're just guessing basically, unless you look it up online, which of course.
But it's some of this complexity, like, you know, part of the draw of this, you know, like the fact that you're supposed to like really master.
It certainly seems that way,
systems.
Yeah, it's one of those. I think it helps for Sean because he plays so much Monster Hunter. So it's kind of you know, you're already 2 steps ahead of. It's like when you've been playing Souls games for ages, you kind of know the lay of the land to some extent when you first load one up. But if you're not as used to playing them, I've got something to ask you, Matt.
Who are
you playing this with?
Just on my own. I'm just going through the campaign on my own until I actually understand the game.
Because something really sad happened in the group chat today. Not today, this week.
No, over the weekend, yeah.
Where John was practically begging you to join him to play, and you were just like, no, I don't want to. And I thought that's like when I beg you to come and play FIFA with us and you say no. And John and I were talking, and we're just thinking about unfriending you on Xbox now.
Okay. Well, that's possible.
What's the point? What's the point in having you as a friend on Xbox these days?
Well, that's a good point. You can remove, I guess. Well, I wanted to get a campaign on because even now I'm like trying to work out how the game works, and Sean and I were talking, and he's like, you know, actually playing with friends is also a bit of a nightmare. So I'm like, well, let me actually understand what the game's about first.
That's not what you said, though. What you said was, oh no, you'll be too high level for me, and they're like, no, we won't. It all sort of levels out. Yeah, you did. You said something like that.
I didn't say high
you gave
level.
An excuse about, I'm not leveled up or something. And they were like, that's not a problem. We just want to help you out. It'd be fun to play together.
Well, I'm still trying to get my head around the game, so it'd be mad for me to jump into a multiplayer game. Also, I want to get the campaign done and.
That helps, doesn't it? Because then you could go, what's this? What's that? That's what helped me with Destiny. We just want your company, Matt. We like you.
I know, but I just wanted to get the game like finished. I actually want to try and get it done before the pod.
It feels like you don't like us.
No, I love you guys. I just wanted to get the game finished before tonight.
Why wouldn't you like our company on things? Okay,
it's less about
that works if you don't always. You've done that. You did that on Call of Duty, and you did it with FIFA.
Done a lot of games, haven't I? Yeah, doing all the games now.
Right, so it can't just be because you're doing the campaign every time, especially with FIFA. What's going on? What have we done?
No, you've done nothing wrong. This is all me. This is.
I don't know, but come on, mate. Like you're one of my best friends ever, and you don't like me anymore.
No, of course I love you.
I don't know if you do, mate.
I do. I just. I don't always want to play online with other people. I think is my issue.
That's the problem.
Why not?
Because if I'm not in like a great mood, I'm not really in the mood with other people. I think is often where I am with things.
But we're all friends, though.
Yeah, I know. But sometimes you need time for yourself, don't you?
I'm gonna unfriend you.
Is this big end car? I don't know.
So anyway, I've got a question. I just wanted to ask. Moving on with this, are you both playing on console?
Yeah, I'm playing on Xbox. Oh my god! I need to talk about the graphics. Fucking hell! This game looks shocking. Like, so I've got Xbox Series X and 120 frames TV. So I'm playing in the 120 frames mode in performance, which means it's locked to 60. But oh my god, graphically,
but you can lock it to 40, right?
Well, I think if you have 120 frames, it locks to you can have like capped, uncapped frame rates. I think I might have turned it uncapped, but so I guess yes, I maybe should put it to 30 or do something. But my god, it looks fucking shit. It looks so bad. But it runs smoother.
Yeah, like it looks incredible, but at 720p a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's incredibly muddy.
Yeah,
and I know, you know, generally if you do like a performance mode or if you do 120 frames thing, you know, for that, you know, what you have to do is you have to forego some graphical fidelity, shall we say? But I mean, it's fine enough, and I think art style carries it enough to get you through. But it's not a good looking game. I don't think it's incredibly brown and various shades of brown.
Wait until the color comes in later.
Okay, good. Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm in the ice section at the moment.
I missed that. What did you say?
Do you have to pay extra for it? Of course.
Yeah, 16 quid for colour.
Yeah, it's 15 quid for graphics. That's the problem. Sean has the full whack.
Quiddy. Yeah, no, it's tough because I think there are moments where visually, like it's incredible, but yeah, it's like because it's the same thing that Dragon's Dogma 2 did. I mean, it's the same engine as well, obviously. In that, in screenshots, it won't necessarily sing, but when it's moving and you've got monsters thrashing around and all the trees and all the water and everything are all behaving like all the I think it's the physicsy shit, that's a technical term, that slows it down more than the graphical stuff, if you get me. Or, you know, like first thing in the morning when where there's water, there'll be like mist hanging over it and all that stuff is like real time. And it looks amazing, but I think the fact that so much of that stuff is going on and being calculated in real time is what really slows it down. So yeah, so even playing performance mode, like there are times when it's like the frame rate's cut in half and it's very it's got the Vaseline. It's Witcher 3 on the Switch treatment.
Like I can take a screenshot and it will just hang for a second. You know, when like take a screenshot on Xbox, we have like you know the green bar saying screenshot taken and screenshot later uploaded to the Xbox network. It will like, it's like what the fuck is this?
Not that, but yeah. But then as I say, but there's like so many. Like the amount of stuff that's going on with the wildlife as well. You don't necessarily stop to notice it in the campaign, but later on, the amount of times you'll go past a bush and loads of little birds fly out of it or whatever.
Another thing I've noticed, and I've seen this in other games, and this is clearly a performance thing, but if you see things in a distance, they're literally 1 or 2 frames a second.
Yeah.
Now I've seen other games do this. I think I don't know if Zelda did it, but other games have done it where like
Pokemon Legends Arceus did that.
But that did it. So like I've seen you see creatures or whatever it is in the world, and you're like just like you know almost doing a robot across in the background. But hey, whatever. But I mean, but apart from that, you know, generally performance is pretty nice. Like it's in the fights, it's smooth. It's just that sometimes that can really like hang and just graphically it looks. I mean, art style. Nice, but it's just also quite ugly, quite brown, quite soft. So maybe I should put it on the graphical mode and see how different it looks.
So is PC the way to go with this then?
Well, apparently that's a fucking nightmare to run well as well. So maybe not.
Well, even if you've got a £3,000 one.
Well, I reckon that'll probably do the job. You'd hope so. Well, the thing is, I never.
Well,
know
I don't know. Actually, I also heard even top of the range things are like, you know, maybe.
Well, because I feel like I'm so out of the loop with what PC people want these days. Because I see people complaining about
bank loans by the sounds of it.
Frames.
See people see them complaining about how it's running and like performance is really bad and stuff. And there's people like I can barely get like 90 frames a second on it, and I'm like I only want 60, mate.
Even on PS5 Pro, it's apparently quite ropey as well.
Yeah, which is not.
If you spend that much money on a console, you kind of, want it to be the absolute
best.
Don't
have a go at people spending that much money on a console, Matt.
This is what I was going to ask, actually. Like, what's worse, like spending $3,000 on a PC or buying a PS5 Pro?
Well, because the PC, I do the podcast.
Matt,
I do work on it.
But it's a lot more money.
Have you bought a PS5 Pro?
No.
Have you bought a PS5 Pro?
No. I bought it on GTA 6, right? But I'm not going to buy a PS5 Pro and a new PC.
No, but they would the way Matt and James were talking there, it was as if Matt had told James that he's bought a PS5 Pro, and James is dropping his subtle hints in.
Even I think they're totally pointless. There's zero FOMO for me, but when GTA 6 comes out, I will almost certainly buy one. But right now, there's no reason to buy one.
The main thing in Matt's defense here is that surely if you had a PS5 Pro, you'd have asked for this on the PS5 rather than Xbox,
true.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do for the PS5 console, but I got an Xbox because I'm sharing game share with a friend, so I thought, why not? But yeah, no, like, no, I haven't bought PS5 Pro yet, but I probably will. But you know, but a £3 PC is the podcast, it's work, it's also other things. So why not? Lovely old job.
I should say, like, you know, I'm saying, I think the frame rate suffers because of all this wonderful visual stuff it does. Obviously, there's an argument that's like, well, maybe it shouldn't do those things, because then it would run smoother and maybe it'd be...
Is it not... Is the RE engine is not built for massive open worlds? It works well for Resident Evil and stuff, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Because I say it struggled with Dragon's Dogma 2 as well.
It looks shocking in performance mode, I think. But
yeah.
But anyway, I'm having a great time, and I was happy when I heard the campaign was like 15 to 20 hours. I'll get through that. I don't know right now if I'm going to then progress to, you know, doing high rank or multiplayer. But yeah, I'm having fun with the campaign. It's keeping me going at a nice pace. I'm seeing all the mechanics of the game.
It's really cool,
having a good time. I'll definitely get it finished, but right now I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to like. I need to stick through and keep upgrading. I'll get the campaign done. Campaign done, but
cool
I'm not
that,
sure.
like, the campaign is like every mission is a new monster. Like it goes through them like so rapidly, because normally
really quick.
Yeah, because normally, you know, in a Monster Hunter campaign, it'd be like, right, you've done this monster once, there is another mission, but you probably want to make the full armor set from the monster you've just fought. So fight that another 3 times, and then we'll talk.
Oh, really? I just assumed it was a new monster every time.
Well, it's like previous campaigns have sort of relied on your own judgment of being like, right, well, I need some better gear, so I need to like pause the main story missions and start going back and fighting the same monsters a few times to get all their gear. Whereas this is much more rapid, and like you don't really have to stop to make many of the armor sets through low rank, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got a question. Actually, I've got loads of questions, but on that, like, what's funny is, so you have like the main campaign, and also they have side missions. I'm not sure what they're called exactly, but you go to speak to your is it Alma in the tent, and she's like, oh, here's some other stuff you can do. You can kill this monster you've just literally killed 2 seconds ago again, if you want. So do I really want to do that?
Like once you're in high rank, like doing the same hunt, you know, or hunting the same monster like loads of times is part of the loop. But the way they've done the campaign mode in this one, you can pretty much just rattle through it. There was like a couple of points where I had to stop and think about what gear I was using. There's like a couple of monsters that were really tough unless you had certain elemental resistances or whatever. Have you done any cooking?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of that. I mean, the cooking, that looks incredible in World. It looks incredible here.
Yeah, and it's like, because previously it's always been, you know, like there's one animation for the chef making you food or whatever, whereas now it's like you do all the barbecuing yourself, and the ingredients you pick all form part of the animation. So if you pick, right, I want some meat, I want some cheese on it, and then I want, you know, some mushrooms or
veggies,
and it'll animate all of that, and it looks incredible. It looks so good.
Yeah, like there's one scene earlier. It wasn't cooking, but it was like cooking involved in a cut scene where all the people had gone to a camp and they were having this stuff with cheese on it, and the cheese looked unbelievable. I mean, like when they World did this well, and this is great again. Like they're just, I don't know if it's the engine, but they're just great at making food look incredibly tasty.
That's where your frame rate's going.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of armor, Sean, I'm just like, okay, I go to the armor. So after a certain time, Gemma, who's the smithy, there's like another option where it's like, here's just recommended upgrades for you. And so I just go in there and say like, well, what armors can I get? But do you get a bonus for having the complete armor set? Or is it just
some fashion? Of them, yeah. But they're never really, like, certainly in low rank, like, don't worry about it. If you want to mix
yeah. Because I'm just getting what I can, and like, I would love to get a full one, but is it really a benefit to get a full one? If there isn't, then I'll just do what I need to do, I guess.
Yeah, there's some armor sets I think you get, there's like certain skills that unlock if you have all of them, but it's not worth worrying about. Because like back in the day, you had to have the full armor set or you got nothing, whereas this is like here's all the abilities you'll get from all these different bits you're wearing. If you've got a full set, there's like this one other ability that unlocks.
Okay.
It's not worth worrying about.
Can I make a larger pouch?
No.
Oh, are you kidding? You can't.
No, you just got to make sure you're dumping stuff back at camp when you.
So as you go around the entire world, what you can do is you can hold down. I'm playing on Xbox. Hold down left trigger, and then you see like glowing things around where it's like essentially materials and whatnot to collect. And I'm doing it all the time. Like, okay, something there, control, trigger B, trigger B, trigger B, and then I'm realizing, hang on. I've already got like maximum 3 out of 3 of whatever it is, this berry or this bug. Like the ones I'm collecting, are they going back somewhere else, or am I wasting my time massively by obsessively collecting everything I see?
I'm obsessively collecting everything.
Right.
And then every so
but is that
often
going back to a different
Yeah, so I think it goes to
collection
like
somewhere.
your field, whatever they call it. There's your field pouch, and then there's I don't know, I'm not quite. All I know is I've just been grabbing everything, and then
okay.
And then whenever I'm back at base or in a or at camp or whatever, I go to the pouch bit, and then there's like presets,
Yeah, the loadouts are really good, and then they automatically refuel based on loadout. So I just go like loadout 1 done, refuel.
Yeah,
so.
and then that will also deposit stuff that's not part of that loadout.
Yeah, I was thinking today I want us to do a stream, Sean, where you play and I just ask you questions, because what I think this is going to turn out like is, for example, like Photoshop. Like everyone has their own ways of using Photoshop or other programs, and I bet if I saw someone else using it, you do that way, it's completely different to me. I think if I saw someone else play Monster Hunter, or you saw me, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, Matt? There's like, you're missing this, you're not clicking that, you're not. So I kind of wanted to stream together where I basically just ask you questions like, you're doing it this way, and why are you doing it that way, and why are you doing it? Yeah, so there's just so much complexity with the game.
I was going to say earlier, I think I'm going to start streaming this on Thursdays for a bit.
Nice.
And we'll see how we go, because I think that'll be a laugh.
Well, don't invite Matt, he won't show up.
Depends on I finish campaign.
Yep.
All right. That's a nice place to end the start the chat. And James only kept it to 1 dig. You should be grateful, Sean. You should be grateful.
I should be grateful. Fucking
James Farley, you've been playing Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii some more. How much more?
I've played about 9 hours now so far.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But I'm still only on chapter 2 at the moment. Because really what happens is like the first chapter is the usual sort of like mostly kind of tutorial stuff, but then chapter 2 is also it's not tutorial, but it's like it gradually sort of unlocks all the systems that there are and all the things you can do. And I really think it takes about 3 hours to kind of get going. But I hate saying this, but it's really good. It's just really good. And the reason it's really good
Why do you hate saying that?
No, because it's so obvious, isn't it, that I'm going to like this game. It was like obvious that was going to happen. And it's
That's not an issue, is it?
Just being a fan, yeah.
And it's like, the sailing is great. It's really basic, like super.
When's
super
that kicking?
basic.
So I bought this and I played this on. I think I must play for like a couple of hours myself. And as my first proper one, I'm like, Jesus, there's a lot to get your head around here. But so when does the sailing stuff kick in?
It's
second chapter.
Yeah, it's sort of around there that you start to then be able to like go to other places and like sail across. The only thing that I'm a bit disappointed about with that is that I was hoping that it would be a kind of like not an open world ocean, but like a big one, but it's not. It's basically these sort of like discrete areas that you can go to where there are sort of like islands and like lighthouses and stuff like that which operate as walk points. So it's not as open as I was hoping it was going to be. But it turns out it doesn't really matter because you can like turn on like these like afterburners to make your ship go really fast and then drift around the side of another ship and then let you loose your cannons on it, and it's brilliant. It's just like, and as I said, it's not like Sea of Thieves. Obviously, there's like a not realism, but there's like an element of like you are working
extremely realistic, just historically accurate simulator.
Yeah, but it's like you're working with the waves and all that kind of thing. That isn't like that in this game at all. It's like it's basically like you're driving a car like around on the sea. But that's fine
because that's what Black Flag did, right? And that was really good fun. The ship battles in that. So
yeah, but drifting.
Yeah,
drifting in a ship.
It's great. You drifted. It's brilliant. It's really fun. And then also, I've got to the stage now where I can like upgrade the ship as well, and you can like you get laser cannons, to put on your ship to like blow up other ships and stuff, which is pretty cool. But then the point at which I really got hooked with this is when I hit Honolulu, because The first parts of the game are set
I
on
want
these.
to go to Honolulu, Brian. Sorry, every time I hear that, that's what I hear it in. Go on.
But yeah, like the first like chapter of the game and the first sort of part of chapter 2 is really sort of these sort of really small islands you're going to. There's not really much going on, and then you move into like this place called Madlantis, which is like this place which is like a pirate coliseum where you're supposed to be like doing all these ship battles and stuff, but you need to upgrade your ship, so you end up going to Honolulu, which is where Infinite Wealth is mostly set. Like it's mostly set in that location. And it was so nice to be back there. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I finished Infinite Wealth, but going back as Majima, it really feels quite different, actually. Everything is a lot more streamlined. Things are a lot faster, and particularly the combat is like really significantly faster because compared with all of the other like Yakuza like protagonists, he's probably the fastest in terms of like movement. And so, its battles are over pretty quickly, and they're still really very fun, but they got these bounties as well, which I really like. Which like they added this bounty system where it's like they got like these like high target people that you like have to try and like sort of take out, and the dialogue is very funny. When you come up to people, and it's just ridiculous. Like the translation.
What was the weird gasp for?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of how to explain it. It's really difficult to explain because it's just very good. Yeah, the bounty system. But then you also have like you've got the usual like delivering pizzas and like it's like they have like this whole crazy taxi like system, which is basically like you on a pedal bike, picking up burgers that are in the street, and then you then have to like deliver them to people as quickly as possible, and like you like drift into them, and it will be like crazy, and do all that sort of stuff, which is pretty good. And the side stories have all been pretty good fun, but I really got hooked like during Honolulu because I almost completely forgot about the sailing. Like I was like, this is an enormous map with tons of side quests, loads of things to do, which are really enjoyable, and I kind of was like, oh yeah, I forgot. There's also like all the sailing stuff to do and like other places to go, and like I need to progress the story, at some point. And that's how I ended up playing like 9 hours in one location, pretty much, because there's a lot to do and it's fun. It's really good, and I really would say that this is a pretty good jumping on point actually for anybody who feels like they do want to play one of these, because it does feel significantly streamlined compared with the others. It doesn't have the baggage of the other games really. The whole conceit at the beginning of this is that like Goro doesn't know who he is, so like he's forgotten who he is and all that sort of stuff. So you're kind of like discovering as you go along.
Yeah, I found that interesting because I assumed he was from a previous game, but the fact he didn't know his name, I'm like, okay, well it's almost like the audience is also trying to learn. So from a newcomer's point of view, but obviously his backstory, so you must be like, oh, is that a reference? And but I'm probably missing that stuff, I assume. But it's still a good way to kind of center the character, I guess, for new players.
And also, I mean, I'd say like the cutscenes and stuff like that, they're not quite as sort of like extensive as they used to be, with the other ones. And I think this is because this is like more of a side story. They're, in the same way that The Man Who Erased His Name was also like this. It was less sort of verbose, like in the cutscenes and stuff. So because it's much less serious. But so far, I'm having a really good time with it. It's I was kind of skeptical going in because I'm not like a massive pirates kind of person. I don't really care that much about that, but it works with this, and it's fun enough.
So my list, it is on my list. I will
I'm gonna
get
back to it once I'm done with the campaign and Monster Hunter for sure. Yeah, I played like two and a bit hours. I didn't realize it was such a beat 'em up. I mean, I hadn't looked into it.
Yeah. What?
I just didn't read. No. So,
See that? That's the other reason why I like this one.
You've played Yakuza games before, though, haven't you?
Well, I played a little tiny bit of Judgment, but literally like an hour or two. But I wasn't sure if it's different. I knew they were turn-based. I knew this wasn't turn-based, but I wasn't sure how different it was. Oh, no, I'm literally just going in and wailing on a bunch of dudes. So.
I mean, there's parts of this. I mean, I'm not... Okay, people have exaggerated and says this sort of gets like Dynasty Warriors style, but it doesn't get that ridiculous. But there are sections where there are like a lot of people, like you're fighting, like, and it is just like it starts to feel a bit like Dynasty Warriors, where it's just like you're just lashing out and tons of people are falling over and stuff like that, which is fun. It's still pretty good.
It sounds great. I wish I knew when I'm going to get round to it.
This is it, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. I can't see my...
Like,
looking at my diary, Sean.
Yeah.
Looking at my diary.
Like, Monster Hunter's going to run for God knows how long. I was really enjoying Avowed. I was really enjoying Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Well, that's the thing. We've just turned to March, but even in February, I was already worrying about how am I going to get to Kingdom Come. Clearly, that's going to... I'm already thinking about GOTY now in Q1. So...
You need
I think
to
my
play
plan
Kingdom
is
Come for GOTY, for sure.
Yeah, Kingdom Come absolutely will get played, even if it's 120 hours, but I put basically that into Final Fantasy. Admittedly, didn't quite get it done before the end of the year. But yeah, Kingdom Come, Split Fiction this week. I want to get Yakuza done once I've done the campaign of Monster Hunter. There's probably other games coming, of course, in February and March.
Man. It's on its way. There's also been Steam Next Fest this week, so there's been plenty to play, hasn't there, Sean?
Yeah, there's been shitloads. I'll keep it brief because I knew, obviously, the Monster Hunter chat was going to run for ages. So yeah, just a few recommendations. HASTE, Broken Worlds. You'll all really fucking like this. I haven't checked. I really hope it's coming to consoles. Basically, like 3D platformer, but where you've got like constant like forward momentum, right? So you're sprinting through these like landscapes. And it's like the tiny wings thing. So if you hit a ramp, you'll fly up, and then you're looking for a down.
So satisfying.
Yeah, so you're hitting a button to then dash down and then hit that, and then so yeah, you're doing that, and you're sort of constantly being there's like a sort of like some inky black shit behind you that's kind of chasing you. But yeah, you kind of like building up your speed, grabbing items and stuff, buying power ups between levels. It just feels fucking incredible. Looks great. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Oh, it's funny. Total action battle simulator. People, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Deliver at all costs. This was really good fun. Sort of 1940s setting where it's like sort of a top-down view where you're a courier, but it's fucking stupid. Your first job is like, oh, you got to deliver this box of fireworks. And then as you're driving around, the fireworks start like setting off and flying around everywhere and hitting people and stuff. And then your vehicle can get damaged and you have to like get out and repair your tires. Got out of my vehicle, repaired one of the tires. One of the fireworks shot out of the vehicle, flew around, and then hit me in the back of the head and knocked me out. Great stuff. Really enjoyed that. And played the demo of Wheel World. Yeah, really, really enjoyable. It's still like not totally clear what the game is other than riding around looking at stuff and doing the occasional race, but that in itself was really enjoyable. Like, it's just got a really nice vibe to it. Dialogue's quite funny. Love the art style. Ran like shit on the Steam Deck though. That was a shame. I was hoping that would be
this
really
is
nice.
the cycling game with we got Skull. What is that Skull
you
for?
got Skull. Yeah, so it's a magical spirit that's I think supposed to send people's souls to the afterlife, which is on the moon. It's very wacky.
Standard bike shit, innit?
Yeah. If any cyclists listening, they're yawning their heads off right now.
Like David.
You teleport around the map using like portable toilets, also known as portal potties, which I thought was top tier.
That's
enjoyed
nice.
that a lot. So yeah, really enjoyed the Wheel World demo. Excited about that.
So it's not one of those games where, because I when we watched the, was it Xbox Direct or whatever it was recently?
Yeah.
No, the Annapurna, was it? That was Annapurna, wasn't it? Yeah. They said, it's one of the games where you can just get lost in it, or you can do objectives. But some of those games that do that, I'm more kind of like, well, I know you say I can relax in the world, but I kind of just still want to be propelled a bit.
Yeah, you wonder
like,
if that's secret code for we haven't put much to do in this game. Sorry.
Well, I just want, does this feel like, you kind of got to go and make your own fun, or is there enough in the world to actually inspire you to explore it?
The demo's really limited, so there's like this one area, this sort of you explore a bit, and you know there's this one place you need to reach, and then this gang are like, well, no, we own this mountain, so you're not cycling up it until you beat us in a race. And then as you're preparing for that, you're finding other parts for your bike. Finding parts for the bike feels cool. There's like, they affect your stats in different ways and stuff. So I think that's going to be really fun when you basically in the demo you get enough parts to like replace the shitty rusty bike with a half decent one. But then obviously as you go through it, we saw in the trailers there's like loads of weird and wonderful bike parts you can find. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Can you go through red lights in it when you plan it?
Can you shout
at
people
can you do that?
Cars?
Can you drive just outside the fucking cycle lane just to fucking make everything awkward? You can be cycling Mikey, can you?
Can you not pay any road tax?
Yeah, well, it's not actually road tax. I think you'll find it's actually. Please don't message in, cyclists. It's a joke, mate. Chill out. Okay. I'll briefly touch on the 2 games that I played. Finished It Takes Two alongside Charlie this week. I've got a lot of thoughts about that, but I will save them for when Split Fiction comes out. I really hope they don't make Split Fiction more adult themed. I hope it's It Takes Two and not A Way Out, which just had needless swearing in, which means that myself and Charlie can't play that game. And It Takes Two was just perfectly pitched. It was so good.
I mean, Split Fiction does look like more of an adult story because it's 2 adults in the game, but
yeah, I don't think that necessarily means it's an adult story, though.
Is it the swearing? That's the issue. It's not adult themed.
It's the swearing, needless violence. I hope it's just more of the same. Really, It Takes Two was really fucking good, and they nailed it. I've got high hopes for Split Fiction, but all I'm hoping for is that I'm going to play it through with Denton. He's my go-to partner when it comes to these games. We did A Way Out and It Takes Two together. He moaned all the way through It Takes Two, though, and I've made him aware of that. He said he wasn't in the right headspace to be playing that game. So like there was things I was like, oh John, look, we can play Connect 4. He's like, no, come on, move on. I think he told me that he thought it was like a 3-hour game, and it's actually quite significant, isn't it? It's more like 10 hours, and it was like, oh, should we play
20
it?
for me and James.
Oh, I just want to do a bit of exploring, but no! It's like, well, I feel like I'm missing out. But he's promised me he won't be like that with Split Fiction. But I'm going to play it through with him first and sort of judge it, then see if it's possible to play that through with Charlie. But Charlie is like way too excited about it. He's loved playing It Takes Two, like really insanely loved it. And he was able to do it. I think there was 2 moments in the whole game where he asked me to do his side, and we just swap controllers rather than me having to try and handle both sides. The rest of it,
I want to play with Elodie. I've never thought about doing that, but I reckon she'll
really
enjoy
good.
that.
I played a fair bit.
It is really fucking good.
As well,
I might do that.
Yeah.
Is it on a service, or is it? Is it on like PS Plus or anything? Or
you probably own it though, right? You probably own it.
Yeah, I mean, when we played James, but when for It Takes Two, it did that thing just like Split Fiction's doing as well, where only one of you needs to buy it. I can't remember which one of us bought it, James.
It does, yeah. Split Fiction's doing that as well, isn't it?
I think it's on PlayStation Plus.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Yeah, I think I'll do like that. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a video I made of Charlie playing it, but I don't know if I've got it.
Yeah, the fact Split Fiction's out this week. It's like it feels like it's flown by.
Days. Yeah.
Pubis in the chat says it's on Game Pass on EA Play, so that's cool. I've got that then. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what It Takes Two is?
Yes.
Oh, then I can't recommend it enough. Playing that with Charlie has been like the highlight of my year. This is a video I made of him playing it. We were playing it. Ready?
Collaboration.
So he's a big fan of Dr. Joaquin.
Yeah, Isaac loves him.
Oh yes. Boy's got taste.
What? I think I might have asked this the other week when we last talked about it. What was everyone hated Dr. Hakim, right?
No, they loved the book, didn't they?
A lot of people hated.
Yeah,
a lot of people hated Dr.
What's the fucking problem?
I don't know. It's a little bit insensitive. I don't think you can get away with it now because it's Joseph Farah's voicing Dr. Hakim, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like in my head, oh no, I'm not going to do spoilers. I was going to talk about what happens at the end, but I'm not going to do that. But the end was slightly different to what I remembered it the first time I played it. So yeah, that was odd. Also, I'm still playing. KCD2 is what the kids are calling it on the street, Sean. I'm now 30 hours in, I think.
I mean, but for everyone else, what game is that?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm now 30 hours in, I think, 25, 30 hours in. And, for all its faults, and there are many, that game is so fucking well written, so entertaining to play, and just... Honestly, I thought my love for it would have like calmed down a bit. It just hasn't. Like the combat is terrible, and there's stealth bits that don't work that well. I got so frustrated with 2 moments just like recently. One was this stealth section where you have to go through the woods, but there are just tons of people about. that are trying to get you, and it's like, fuck me, this is really tedious. I got caught like 40 times. It's really annoying. And then the other one was this ambush scene where I just felt like I had no chance against the people that I was fighting. But really, you can get through it. Like, I think the biggest problem with a game like this, where the combat isn't quite up to scratch, like it's not great, the combat in this, you don't trust the game, and you go, oh, am I in a bit that I literally can't get through because I'm not good enough? And the answer to this is that most cases, no, you can get through anything in Kingdom Come. So although it's not the most enjoyable combat, you can get through it if you just stick to it. And I'm starting to trust the game a little bit more now. But just little things. I mean, there's a bit where you meet this. Well, you're looking for a character and you find out that he's he's a massive drunk, and you come across him because he's been chucked out of a bar, and then you have to go on a mission with him, and just him going, you're in the middle of chatting and talking about, oh, so where do you come from? And he's talking to you and all this, and then he goes, right, come on, and he starts like riding really fast, and you're riding behind him. He goes, why are you in a rush? I need a piss. It's just stupid shit like that, and it just really makes me laugh. Like, it's full of shit like that, and I absolutely love it. Like, I think I'm like halfway through it.
I was going to ask you that. So you're 30 hours in. You think you're halfway? Because
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
heard like 120 hours and 100
Well,
hours. Or
I've read someone talking about it the other day on Rollmuck, I think, and I'm in the second area, right? I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there's a second area, and I've just got to that second area, and it's got a city in it, and I've not been in the city yet, but some people say, no, this is when like a 60 to 70 hour game turns into an 120, because once you go into that city, that's it now. You are going to want to be there forever. Some people are saying it feels like walking into Kingdom Come Deliverance 3. It's a complete game changer when you make it to the city. So I'm guessing it's a little bit like Saint Denis, but in Red Dead. I can't wait. I can't wait to walk in, because the stuff I've experienced so far has just been so fucking good that expanding that into a big working city or town or whatever, it's going to be it's going to be special. So forgive me, listeners, I know you want us to talk about new games every week. Just give me this one, please. This is going to take me a long time to complete, but I really want to complete it. So loving it. James, I cannot wait for you to play it. We're going to have so many good off-air chats about this game. I just can't wait to hear how you react to things, because it is a Fallout game. It reminds me of when we played Fallout and we used to message each other playing Fallout about what choices we made and how it affected things and stupid shit that happened within the world, good. Right, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get to questions before we wrap this bad boy up.
If you want to send us a question, go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Jashield says, evening boys, heavy question for you all. As a queer gamer, God no, fuck that up. As a queer gamer, I like when games have the ability to allow for romance options across the spectrum, but with a caveat. In something like Mass Effect, I am Shepard, whereas in a game like Life is Strange, you're playing an established character and it feels odd to be choosing it, so to speak. For example, my Alex from True Colours was gay, but textually she was bi. Does it make more sense for a character-based RPG to make a character a certain way for consistency, or does it not matter?
This is really interesting, Shields, because it's something we've spoken about a lot, especially when it comes to Life is Strange games. And it's kind of, I mean, you've got to take our opinions with a pinch of salt. And I mean this, right? Like, we are 4 straight white dudes. So, our opinions on the matter is, we're more likely to listen to other opinions than make it ourselves. But I have always felt uncomfortable in a game like Life is Strange, where the game seems to go, so do you want this character to be gay or straight? And you go, well, it's not really, like, to me that feels awkward, because it's like, I don't believe that it's a choice.
Yeah, you don't choose it in real life. Yeah. You might
Exactly.
choose when to talk about it or when to come out or whatever.
And then there's the argument that was put forward that, well, maybe she's bisexual, so and you go, fair enough, but then why is every character in Life is Strange bisexual and allowing me to pick which?
Like, double exposure is like, it's very clear it wasn't. It was like the Max was was gay. So any kind of that's why the Vin relationships felt so weird to me. It felt like that personally, it felt so out of place. So I'd rather this is a character and you're playing that character. You can impart how you feel about the character yourself, but I would rather they just like this is the character and this is their own desires and their story, and you go with that rather than some grey area that kind of makes every decision not feel relevant and weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you say, it's not a thing you choose. So to just sort of have it as a dialogue option feels weird. But then it's if it was in the character creator, that would still feel strange, wouldn't it? Even though you'd say like Mass Effect, you decide everything about your shepherd. But if then it was like, oh, and what's their sexual preference? You'd be like, well, okay.
Yeah, I think Mass Effect's a funny one, isn't it? It's sort of like a midway point between a custom character you're building and an established one, because Shepard as a character within that world is an established character.
Yeah.
However, you're making your Shepard, so it feels like that feels a little bit more acceptable.
Because with that, you're still crafting. As I recall, with Mass Effect, you were still crafting some of the backstory as well, weren't you? Like as where they come from.
Yeah, I mean, only in that you pick a start in sort of thing. Same with V though. V is like that from Cyberpunk, where it's established character within the world. You're making your own character. You're picking the gender of that character. You're picking how that character looks, and as you say, the backstory. So it doesn't feel strange when you're picking the sexuality as well. But in Life is Strange, that we brought it up several times on the spoiler cast. I've never felt right about it. Picking Max's sexuality or picking, it just felt a bit kind of missing the point. But that's also and I mean this, that's also coming from someone whose sexuality is represented in the gaming world constantly. So like, I mean, my opinion on this is kind of jaded because I haven't had the misfortune. Well, I've not had the situation where I feel that I'm being underrepresented. I do not feel underrepresented in video games. So
that's not what I heard, David. That's not what I heard.
Shut up! I told you not to say that.
But on that particular example, I mean, like there's been, we've all seen movies and stuff where there is kind of like homosexual stories. So it's not like we haven't seen them, but it feels like actually they're pandering to a wider audience. Say, oh no, it's okay, you can make her what you want. Well, no, like Max is a gay character. Like, are they just trying to make it as cast a wide net so everyone can impart their own way on what a character should be, or should they just say?
But that's it. I don't know. But
look, she's clearly a gay character. To say she's gay, and like the story can be stronger and better for that, rather than you can kind of make it what you want. Well, no, like I felt anything that wasn't a gay relationship felt uncomfortable to me personally with Max. So I don't know.
And like because this extends a bit to like NPCs as well, right? Because like Baldur's Gate 3, every companion in that game is main character sexual. Like everyone will fancy you no matter what. And I get that from like a fantasy perspective or like a wish fulfillment for the player perspective, but also I feel like it'd be more meaningful if certain characters were written with certain sexualities in mind, and then that affects how I interact with them based on who I am. I don't know.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's something I've thought about a lot while trying to be conscious of the fact that we may not be the best people to pass comment on it, and it's one of those things that I'd rather listen to someone else talk about. But if you're asking my opinion, we brought it up on the show loads, mainly in the spoiler cast. So I'm sure a lot of people have missed that. But it sort of just didn't feel right at the time. So, but okay.
Maria Mendieta says, "Dear TCGS Kunio-kun, I met someone this weekend who collected video games for their meme value. This received a stern response from my friend who told the meme hoarder that love should be a collector's sole motive. As passionate men, what was a game that you truly fell in love with, as in felt feelings that are usually reserved for other living organisms? Keep up the magnificent work. Sincerely, Maria."
Yeah, but this person... This person
their
loves
meme value.
memes. This person loves memes. That's love.
Is it?
I don't know.
You folded under questioning and then, James. That was instant, wasn't it?
What do you mean by meme value? What? So
I don't know.
what does that mean?
Sure. what that would entail.
So explain what do you think that means, David?
What meme value?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what does it mean?
I'm a bit lost. Is it
just in meme value? So
is it just like as in they collect games that have become memes? For
memes,
like classically bad games and stuff like that, or
bad games, like famously broken games.
Superman on the N64.
Yeah.
And ET on the
or like Oblivion with that, Is it a bit of Skyrim where you're on the cart going into town? That's quite famously memed part of a game.
I got hit in the knee with an arrow, so that used to piss me off. Portal. Yeah. God, the people of the internet ruined that game for me. I fucking adored that game, and then next thing you know, Portal. Oh, the cake is a lie. Fuck you. Fuck off.
Isn't even the funniest joke in that game, like by a long shot.
I hated it so much. It is mad. It is mad though how much kids are obsessed with memes are the most important thing.
Memes are currency even as an adult. Like if you get something good in a group chat, you save it. You're ready for the perfect response.
That sounds like a fucking TED talk, Matt. Shut up.
What?
Memes are currency in a group chat.
Yeah, it's a social currency, aren't they? Really? Like the amount of people that's how they talk. That's how they share online. That's just it, isn't it?
Can we move on to the next question?
We haven't answered this one yet.
I'm fine with that.
James doesn't know what a meme is. He's been calling them memes up until tonight.
I love memes. Memes are great. Truly fell in love with.
So any game that you truly fell in love with, Titanfall is up there with me. Titanfall 2, Titanfall 1 actually. I remember feeling sick because of how much I loved that game.
That sounds like love, yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 was up there as well. I remember it just blowing my fucking eyes out.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage
Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Oh, Streets of Rage 2 for you, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Mock Turtle Soup says Hellblade 1 in the chat. Ban Mock Turtle Soup, please. From the...
Lifelong ban for that.
Another one, but not Hellblade 2. Interesting.
Well, I'm definitely banning now. Definitely ban them.
Same variety of perspective puzzles. Just one looks better.
Yeah, Dinner for Another Last of Us Part 2 is one of my all-time favourite games, but I'm not sure if I fell in love with it, but it totally consumed all my thoughts and feelings for a fair while. So if that's love, then I fell in love, baby.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Citizen Sleeper for me. It's got to be right.
The first one, that was special.
What is love? Episode title, Matt. Write that down. Next question.
Why does Matt have to write them down? Why is it his job?
It always has been, hasn't it?
I've got a doc.
Matt, would you? Thank you.
Yeah, but he always does it. He's the one that sends a message at 1:30 in the morning, the night we record, going, "Here are the episode titles I've got."
Every week I start a new doc with the episode numbers with titles like names, edits, and anything else. So yeah, don't worry.
Cool.
I should say, sorry, Mock Turtle Soup in the chat saying not Citizen Sleeper 2 ? I just mean in terms of Citizen Sleeper being a new thing and just really blowing me away. I adored the second game, but it's a continuation.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as special.
Yeah.
Second one was great, but the first one was special and different. So.
I'll tell you one game that I didn't love playing at the time, but then went on to loving it was Disco Elysium. Remember there was a lot of playing that game that I really hated, and there was a lot of aspects of that game that I was frustrated with. But then after the dust had settled and I'd finished it and I thought about it loads, I was like, no, that was amazing. But
weirdly easy to forget the frustrations, isn't it, and just remember the amazing bits. And
yeah, that fucking skill checks shit.
It's been quite interesting. Limmy's streaming it at the moment, and I kind of I've been a Limmy fan for years, but his streams I sort of go back and forth on, and I feel like he's quite snarky a lot of the time, and just usually when he's streaming something I like, I'm just like, well, I'm not going to watch this because he's just going to
because his whole thing is to take the piss out of it.
It's been really interesting seeing him being won over by Disco.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I saw he was streaming it, but I hadn't watched anything for the same kind of reason. I was like, I'm not sure if I really got it in me, but
it's been interesting.
Funny answer, actually, Maria, is I have not fallen in love with a single game.
Okay. Do you know what this is getting away from the question a bit, but I've talked
Rally?
about getting a Citizen Sleeper tattoo.
Maybe.
And occasionally I'm like, when I think about it again, it's like, that was a game made by one person. That then puts this pressure on Gareth Damian Martin to like never fuck up. Like if they suddenly like had a really bad opinion or went a bit off the rails, you'd be like, oh fuck. Got this.
Do you know my advice for that?
Talking about bad opinions is more if they've committed a crime.
Well, yeah, also, yeah.
Do you know my view on that? Because I got a Queens of Stone Age tattoo, and Josh Homme has done some fucking awful shit. You know? And I just, the way I look at it is that doesn't represent that person. That represents that point in my life. And that point in my life, I was going to gigs and all the time, like literally 3 or 4 gigs a week, at times. And that represents that period of my life. Yeah. So I wouldn't try to disassociate it from that one person.
I think it's just,
and just
like, if
more
it was
about
any
where
other
you were in
game
that point
or
in
most
your
other
life.
games, you'd be like, well, it's made by a team, right? It's made by a lot of people. One or two of them turn out to be bad eggs. Who cares? But it's like, no, it's one person.
We are booking a tattoo artist. This could happen, Sean.
Yeah.
It could happen
potentially.
But that means no, Dave. That means
the
no.
whole the whole separating the art from the artist. I go back and forth on it so much because
same.
So because people can do bad things. I don't think that makes them a bad person. Obviously, if they do something horrendous like murder or a horrendous sexual crime, that's a little bit different. But lots of people like Josh Homme, he's done some bad stuff. I don't think he's a bad person. But it's like we're so quick to like, okay, well that's it. Like that person is basically gone forever. They're cancelled. This that, and the other.
I don't think that.
I don't know. I go back and forth so much. It's like, J.K. Rowling. I was never a fan of Harry Potter, but like I'm definitely not going to be a fan after that. Kanye. I used to fucking love Kanye so bloody much. And some of his early albums are still incredible.
But those are people who have been relentlessly horrible.
Yes,
it's not like so one slip up and that's it.
Unfortunately, my love for Kanye has basically gone because of how he's actually like Russell Brand. Love that man. Read bookie work, loved the radio shows, but it's like, up to a certain point, it's like, okay, I'm kind of done. But someone can have a bad opinion. Someone can have this and that, unless it's super serious.
It's a fluid thing. It's not. It's also a very personal thing. You have your own thresholds. Some people. Yeah, it's a very complicated thing to wrap your head around, and I don't think internet.
And there's the distinction between enjoying or having fond memories of something that someone did in the past and continuing to put money in their pocket. Like, that's a whole other distinction as well that I think is important. Like,
it's so difficult. It's so difficult. I mean, I don't think Kanye can do anything now to come back like in the way I loved him when I was younger.
Yeah, I think so.
Russell Brand probably too far as well. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if anyone's kind of on the borderline, but you're so right, Sean. If it's relentless, it's like, okay, well, that person that I loved all their art is gone now, regardless of how I could listen to the first Kanye album and I still love it, but it's like, unfortunately, the artist has kind of gone too far. But anyway, so I guess what we're saying, Sean, you should get a Citizen Sleeper tattoo.
Yeah, I will. Did I ever show you the design for it?
You had a design. You'll definitely get a tattoo. Then what are we doing?
Well, I mean, I've never actually shown it to a tattoo artist, so they might look at it and be like, "Well, no, that's not going to work, you idiot." So who knows?
Do you know what? Joe was saying, "Are you going to get a tattoo when Matt gets one?" And I was like, "I might." She went, "Well, it's got to be something video game related, then surely." And I was like, "Well, if you're all right with it, then maybe I'm all right with it." Maybe we will get tattooed.
We are still moving forward with a tattoo, by the way. It's just things
we're
are
just
still
trying
moving.
to get date. It's tough at the moment to try and get date in the diary, but we're getting there. Okay, next question.
This comes from We're Cooked. This is really going to lighten the mood. Since the last show, it seems like the post-World War II international order has crumbled before our eyes. Any tips for combating sheer existential terror?
Pirate Yakuza.
Yep.
It's just escaping.
Yeah, so you're saying stealing?
When he said pirate, I thought it was going to be like, it's pirate movies and TV shows. Get on the torrents.
I think it's. I mean, for me, it is disappearing into fantasy worlds that are much more interesting than with this. Because
I mean, I think everyone knows this by now, but obviously not doom scrolling constantly. Sort of stay aware.
Yeah, that helps.
Limit your exposure to.
Get rid of social media. That's a massive plus. Yeah. Looking at expensive things and pretending that you're buying them. That's what I do. Do you do that? Do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't actually buy them though, Matt. Like I look at them and go, one day that'd be nice to get
nice. I have like a threshold. I'm just like, well, that's never happening. So.
I can't do. Nah, I don't do that. Do you not go do? Because you're into watches like I am. Do you not look at really expensive watches every now and then and go, one day?
No, I can't. Because I don't.
Why?
Because I like watches, but I don't know enough about them to be like, yeah, I can see why that one's $6,000. Do you know what I mean?
Same, exactly the same. But when you look at like a Omega Moon watch, don't you go, fucking hell? Imagine that just being on my wrist.
I do like when I go because Leeds is like this one particular street in Leeds has got all the big kind of like designer watch brands. I do like going past saying like what's the most expensive one, but I never think one day because it just feels so outside the realms of possibility. But it's certainly fun to look at them.
Yeah.
Not if you play the lottery. It's like what I say to Joe. Like I play the lottery because it gives me 3 days of going, imagine. Yeah. And it's worth the entry fee for that alone. Okay. All right. Cool.
Sorry. Yeah, that's not a very good answer, is it? But
I guess my answer is like all the stuff you said, but I guess be informed, but also just spend time away from the news. As I love the news. I listen to like Radio 4's Up All Night. Most nights going to bed. I've always loved that. But also there has to be a point where, you should focus on other things and get out there and do things that make you happy. Because if you just focus on that 100%, if you're like fully online or fully, doom scrolling 24/7, it's going to affect you really, really badly. So do it in moderation. I think be inspired by the world, be educated by the world, learn what you need to learn, but also don't be fully consumed by it because it's only going to be bad.
Yeah, and and I'm sorry if like this stuff bothers some of our listeners because I know we get people. Especially lately, for some reason, on our Apple podcast reviews, really going in on the Sean hates Nazis. Oh, sorry guys, sorry if that's difficult for you. But you do get some people who are like, guys, I listen to your show as a form of escapism. I don't need reminding about world political.
Yeah,
events.
I should have.
I get that, like 100%.
I get it, but we're not going to change.
No, and I feel like so many other people are like quite reassured sometimes that we agree with them on stuff. I think the fact that people write in saying, actually it was really cathartic to hear one of you ranting about such and such a thing.
Yes, I think to fully ignore it that isn't helpful either.
Yeah, exactly.
I think personally, I think there's got to be a little bit of balance between the two. Because if you fully ignore it, like you should be informed about what's happening in the world to see what you can do to potentially help, or at least have an opinion about things. But I think to fully just bury it, and so I like you do hear people say, fuck politics. Everything is politics. Everything you're doing and experiencing or buying or engaging with is a form of politics.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to be informed about that, whether you want to go,
I don't even know why we're talking about this. We've right, okay. So we've had like a few dodgy messages saying, they talk about politics. I don't care anymore. There would have been a time where it was kind of like, we want to build our audience, and but I don't care. We've got our audience, and I really love the people that listen to our show and the people that get in touch. Always seem to be sound and on the level. That's all we need. That's all we need. I'm not looking to expand anymore. I'm not looking to do. With the Patreon is keeping us going as it is. I don't need to be mega famous or anything like that. I love our audience as they are. They know they know us. You know what I mean? They understand that we're loony lefties, yet we make mistakes with things and we're still learning and all this sort of stuff. They get it. I don't need to. So if you don't like what we're saying, just fuck off and listen to someone else at this point, because I don't give a shit.
Agree with all that wholeheartedly. However, I'm probably not going to look at the feedback form this week.
It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? This has been. It
I
does
agree
feel like we've
wholeheartedly,
ramped it up.
but I do want to expand.
Okay, should we get one more question?
Last one comes from NBA Hall of Famer Larry Bird. Says, I've been in a few video games in my time. I was wondering if you guys were told you were going to appear in a video game as yourself, then what would you like it to be? Larry Bird, Boston, USA.
Lola 3D2.
Source. I don't know what game would I actually want to be a main character. Would I experience being the main character?
Hold on.
Or would it
Doesn't
literally
say
just be
main
my likeness
character.
just in
Does
the...
it say main character? It says
it
just
doesn't. It
appear in a
says
game.
appear in it,
appear in it.
Sorry, Sean. That's your ego coming through there, isn't it? What main character will I be? You wouldn't be.
Hero would I?
No, you would be a trader in a stall.
I think I wouldn't mind being like one of the background people in one of the Street Fighter games, that are just watching, what's going on. Yeah,
Just permanently in an idle animation.
yeah, basically, yeah, that'd be quite good.
Can we do away with, speaking of traders in video games, can we do away with that thing that where if you don't buy something, they don't fucking have a go at you? Because
I
it
hate
really...
that shit.
Yeah, KCD does that all the time, and it really annoys you. Accidentally press the circle button. Well, if you don't want to fucking buy something, fuck off that. And I'm like, no, I just pressed the wrong button, mate. I do want to buy something. I just pressed the wrong button.
This is why you need to be playing the Yakuza games, because they're really nice always. They're just like, oh, thanks for visiting, and stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah, I know, because they
don't have a
usually
go at you.
Okay. I was going to say that, whatever. I was gonna say something. What game would I like to see myself in? FIFA. Okay? FIFA. I want to be playing for England because that means in real life I play for England.
Actually,
That's what
no,
it means.
I'd like to see you in the dugout as one of the managers, David. I think that'd be better.
That would be good as well.
I love how vacant they all look. Whenever you see
That's
see
what
the
I could
players,
see.
and then it cuts to like Pep, and he's just like stony eyed, just like looking around like robotically in the corner.
I want you in one of those massive coats, like with
Arsene Wenger style.
Yeah, with like Arsene Wenger style coat.
I wore one of
with
those.
just like staring, like
I wore one of those when I was a manager of a little league team. I wore a manager's coat. Yeah, they're nice. They're
Comes
comfortable.
with territory.
They're massive. Yeah, I wore one of them. I'm going to be wearing one of them next season because I'm picking it up again. I'm picking it up again. Yeah, Charlie asked me to be his manager next season because I was Harry's manager. So now I've got, and he starts playing this season. Yeah,
Yeah.
getting called out of retirement.
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah. You like boy.
Yeah.
Or David Moyes. I'm retiring. Actually, I'll come back for one last season.
Yeah. That's happening
Lovely
next
old
season.
job.
So enjoy me.
I'm looking forward to the bonus shows now.
No one's saying that. Everyone's like, I might unsubscribe.
Ginger Ninja literally just said that in the chat as well. So
Yep, there you go.
Okay, cool.
You calling him a
Cheers,
liar?
Ginger Ninja. No, I'm not. Is that it? Are we done?
That's it.
Feels like we're done. Matt, should we get to socials?
yes, we stream this podcast live every Monday night on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/TCGSco. Also on our channel, this Thursday from 9, Sean will be streaming Monster Hunter Wilds, and James, if he wants to, may or may not stream Bloodborne Friday night from 9.
Matt, what about Split Fiction? It's out this week. Why can't we play this game?
Well, we can, but my
why
PC
can't we
won't be
play
here,
this game?
so we'll just do it on your stream, and we'll just have my voice in the background. But we won't be able to see my gameplay. But yeah, let's do that.
But James
actually,
set that
I
up.
better check
Probably
my
split screen
calendar.
the whole time.
Oh yeah. It's just webcams I did last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, James can set that up, can't he?
Yeah, man.
I should be able to, yeah.
Yeah, last time it's just a double webcam. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Friday night looks empty.
He doesn't trust you. James,
No,
please
I know he
knock this
doesn't,
out of the park. Please knock it out.
Of course I can. You did it last time.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay, sure. Cool. Okay. Well, guess that's happening on Friday. So no Bloodborne on Friday. Right?
What just happened?
How is this even weirder than the Monster Hunter cosmetics thing?
Yeah.
It's
I
because
just,
Matt doesn't want to play it.
it's
That's
suddenly
why.
a big-
And he's being...
Why
No,
does
I
that
really
work?
don't
Right,
wanna
okay,
play
you're
it.
holding on
Fine.
to something. Right. Something's going on that we don't know, Sean.
I just
What's
feel a
going
bit
on,
anxious
James?
about the whole thing.
What?
What do you feel anxious about?
I don't feel anxious.
No, Matt said he
No,
feels
talking-
anxious.
talking to
What
me
the
now,
fuck
James.
is going on with you two?
So
It's
James
the
and I had
weirdest
this idea. Well, we'll be like fractious because we both bought PS5 Pros today.
Have you?
No, I'm joking.
I mean, you would say that.
Something is going on with you two at the moment, and it's weird.
Right. Well, that's love, baby. Right, okay, Monster Hunter, Thursday from 9. Friday night, James and I are streaming Split Fiction from 9. That's on twitch.tv/TCGSCO. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime account, connect them. And you have something called Twitch Prime Gaming. And you get 1 free sub a month. So why not go to our channel when we're streaming or even when we're not and give us your 1 free sub. If you miss our streams live, they're on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/TCGS or at TCGS. And everything else is at tcgs.co for links to our Blue Sky accounts, our Patreon, website, store. It's all on there. Don't forget James's t-shirt is still in the store.
Thanks so much for living it. Everyone in the chat is now utterly convinced that both James and Matt have a PS5 Pro. We'll catch you on next week's show.
Those pixels on that stream. That's in 4K.
Yeah.
8K, baby.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.